It's just not that. Whoops. In a while. Yeah. Oops. Apparently Coury is silent, or did you fix it?
Now I should be good.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Sorry about
why
that.
am I not? Oh, wait. I need to click the live button. Because I was not even seeing this. There we are.
I'm on a practice, I guess, huh?
Wait, why is... Man, let me refresh the page. My stream is not keeping up very well. Okay. Maybe that's better.
So this or Ride to Hell Retribution? No, I mean, as in like the weirdest game ever. This is my game. Actually,
this is
it's just on my X station. I don't own a copy of this. It's not for lack of trying, though.
This is a Joe Redifer recommendation. Well, not really.
Yes, exactly. Sorry about that. That
but
squeak there. I guess I'm just out of practice. Yeah, I thought, I went straight to the gameplay. I didn't even go to like the two people, like the two screen. Whatever. Like I'm out of
whatever.
I'm just figuring it out, right? Anyways, I was I didn't know what to play, and then Joe was like, "Hey, you should play Tale of the Sun," because if anybody watched the episode of Game Sack today, you'll know that I was able to co-host an episode. When we shot all the on-camera stuff right before I went to Yellowstone. Like my family and I stayed with Joe the night before we picked up our camper van.
Yeah, and so your reactions of being like, "Well, that sure was interesting," was based on no knowledge.
We were just winging it, And it's funny because he was like, "Oh, don't forget you said this." So
apparently I am super loud.
You're super loud?
I don't know if it's super loud or just louder than Coury.
Oh, you are a little bit loud, aren't you?
Both. I don't know if it's like Coury should come up or Try should come down, or a little of both.
Now it should be better. Sorry about that. Now you should be
like
good.
Sending me in like twice or something.
Should be good now. Sorry. Yes, I was. I had a wrong button pushed. I think I was sending it back to you. Now it should be good. It's better. Now.
It's better now.
It's more balanced and everything's okay.
Excellent.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when it's like 2 weeks of not.
I honestly thought that Super Nintendo game that you played, like it looked good until you started saying it was bad.
Wait, what? The
Superman game.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I thought like just to watch video of it, I'm like, it looks pretty decent.
Oh, it's a good game. It's like impossibly difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Like not even in a fun way. I don't know. Like, I think if there was...
Apparently you're still a little quiet.
I'm still a little bit quiet?
A little quiet.
I mean, that just has to... I don't know. It shouldn't do anything. It's just like, maybe it's just like the distance of the microphone.
Yeah, that's probably it.
I can turn myself up a little bit. Now I'm peaking. But now it can be better. Maybe that's better. All right.
Maybe it's better.
Yeah.
It's probably better.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It was good enough for me to buy it. But that was before I was like, oh, I'm going to try to like finish this. I bought it because when I was given the games to play, I had my Analog Pocket with me on the Yellowstone trip. And that was the only one I could play. And I couldn't make it past the first level. So I was like, I like this. I like how it looks and sounds. And maybe I'm just having a hard time if I just like sit down and really apply myself, like it'll be fine. So I was like, I like it enough that I think that I'm gonna like just order a copy off of eBay. And then I got back and tried it, and it was like no easier, and it just gets more and more difficult as it goes. So I do have a copy of it based on like, I thought that I was going to be able to play through it normally, but
you're going to like it more than you did.
Yes. Yeah, and it looks and sounds great, but
I gotta be honest. I thought that Shadow of Rome game looked pretty bad.
Yeah, so there were some interesting comments about it, and I didn't realize this was the case until some people commented saying that they were going to make a sequel, but it flopped. So they redid the sequel and turned it into Dead Rising.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of wild, right?
That's a big 180.
Mm-hmm.
That's I would never have guessed there was a connection there.
So
there was a $10 super chat from local S'mores Pop Tart who showed up in the Backloggery stream, and I was kind of confused. I'm like, oh hey, it's local S'mores Pop Tart. I always love seeing that name. And Drum's like, oh, someone you know? And I'm like, oh, is local S'mores Pop Tart not been in this stream before?
Yeah, this is where yes. You got confused. You got confused.
I got my streams crossed.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a good way to
literally.
Put it. That's a good way to put it. So you had a video, a non My Life in Gaming video, released yesterday.
Well, hold on a second. Let me get through the super chats real quick.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and start.
Yeah. Local S'mores Pop Tart says, good evening, MLiG, and happy Sunday. Enjoying the stream with some green tea and some Panzer Dragoon Orta. Always a great way to end off the week this way.
Heck yeah.
I should definitely do another run of Panzer Dragoon Orta where I don't completely misunderstand how to actually level up my dragons. Also, wow, look at this artwork on this file select screen.
Look at that artwork.
See this in the video.
I mean, it's just like
now we saw this with the scratchy caveman drawing in the background. Now that's just like, what even?
I wonder how many characters I can do.
And there was also a notification that Nana Cheesecake has been a member for 22 months in a row, closing in on 1 year. Saying, I don't even have to try for the joke. Happy Sunday. Like, Tale of the Sun. Get it? Huh? MLiG and Eve.
Now I'm going to go MLiG and Chat.
MLiG and Chat. I can't remember exactly how this went, but Drum said I don't remember where he heard it from. If he heard it from like someone he follows online, or if he heard it from like his nephew or something like that. But like, I don't know how widespread this is, but like he heard of an incident where a kid had to give like a speech in front of a class, and he referred to the class as chat.
Oh.
I don't know if this is becoming widespread terminology.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. I mean, I've heard my kids say something about that, like refer to like a group of people and say like
as chat,
as a chat. Yes. So I guess word of warning, like I don't know how to play this game any better than I did in that video. I just do stuff and stuff happens.
Yeah.
That's kind of the appeal of the game. And I
So
felt like
you said that there were like no guides really about it. Like there was no way to
there
really.
is very, very little real information. Like there's a FAQ that is just like a translation of like the Japanese page, apparently, like the Japanese like walkthrough, and it kind of tells you what to do, but it almost gives you no information. So
I mean, you know, that kind of reminds. I mean, it's different different time period, of course, but you know, I'm always hearing that you know, GameFAQs is just it's not popular with the kids anymore. You know,
for some reason, I mean, they can just.
And I started after I finished Astrobot. You know, that kind of put me in the frame of mind to be like, you know what? Instead of playing one of my pledge games, maybe I should finally get around to playing God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And so I'm like 10 hours into it, but there was a puzzle relatively early on that I thought it was pretty poorly communicated how the physics of it work.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was clearly misunderstanding something. I'm like, I don't like looking up stuff if I don't have to, but you know, I was like, I gotta look something up. There, like, I can simultaneously believe it, given that I know GameFAQs is not as popular as it was back in our day. But I also can't believe it that like a triple A juggernaut of the magnitude of like a Sony first party game like God of War has no guides on GameFAQs. None.
Wow.
None.
That's
kind of
amazing,
unreal
actually.
to me.
That's super surprising. Like nobody can be bothered to put the effort in, I guess. I mean,
Well,
and
probably part of the reason, though. I mean, I was talking to Drum about it. You know, and he's right. Like, you know, there's all of like guides are like big business for like all of these bazillion gaming websites out there. And you know, I searched God of War mine puzzle, and like a whole ton of B tier gaming websites come up with a page dedicated to here's the solution to all of the puzzles in Apple Core Mine and God of War Ragnarok. It's like page dedicated to that location. And probably because when a AAA juggernaut comes out, those pages, those websites get on making those pages really quickly, I imagine. Like the motivation to do a GameFAQ just isn't there. But it would still be nice to just have like all the information about a game distilled into, one text file. Is it too much to ask for? With some ASCII art at the top? Come on. This is how we're supposed to get our information. Like, I hope something out there is scraping like all the GameFAQs guides, because
Sorry, I'm doing my live stream.
I hope something out there is
one belt
scraping that, because if GameFAQs went away, like there are so many guides there that there might not be any way to find out information about random NES games, like is there a hard loop to this game? Are there any hidden items like that might not be documented well anywhere else?
Right. Yeah. There needs to be a second renaissance in the on GameFAQs, I think, at this point.
And I agree with Joe here. I'll take written guides over YouTube guides any day. For me, video guides spoil things too much. Absolutely. Like the only thing I want to look at a video guide, if I'm like stuck on a boss for an hour, like maybe, and like I read like a suggestion of how to approach it in a guide, and it's just not really helping, then maybe I'll try to look up a video of just to watch how someone moves in that fight, you know?
Right. Or to even see,
but I that's like a last resort. I prefer to not have to do that, you know?
Yes. And if it's something where I can't find my way through an area, I will just like skim the video until I see an area that looks unfamiliar, and then I will back up to where I find an area that looks familiar and just see how they get.
But by then I've already spoiled more than you wanted to, you know?
Yes, exactly. And
so, yeah, I do like them old written guides. What can I say?
Yeah.
What can I say?
I know that Joe said I should load up my other save to, just continue on. And
yeah, I mean, I kind of thought you would like continue building your tower.
Should I just do it? I mean, I can.
I mean, did you feel like you had hit like a wall?
No, not at all.
Well, not then at all. You should just continue it. Absolutely, I think.
All right. As long as I didn't just save over it. I'll do that.
Is this game a PS5 Pro remaster? I mean, considering this was published by Sony Computer Entertainment America, it was not in Japan though. But I think this should have had an Astrobot, right?
Yeah, it would have been funny if it did.
Like what if this was that 301st?
I mean, it would have been better than what was there.
It would have been. I still don't understand. Like, don't get me wrong, the 301st Astrobot is an iconic character, but wow. I actually went to Video Game World today. I didn't buy, like, the first time in a long time I went to the main Video Game World and didn't buy anything. But the game that the 301st Astrobot is from was like, I didn't realize how expensive it was. I think it was like $70 or $80.
Oh wow. There's a PS4 remaster of that too.
I think it was based. I think it might have been one of those things that was based on like a PSP emulator, which may not actually be that bad. I actually have the demo for that installed on my PS4 because a long time ago when we were like trying to come up with some video ideas. I mean, a couple of years ago, I was I had this idea of looking at portable games that got console versions. And this isn't a portable game originally, but it was just another example of Sony's PSP emulator. And so I downloaded the demo. I'm not going to say what the 301st
No.
is.
But, I think that there's certain areas I think that should be it's probably okay to mention them now. Like, but still, like the end of like the real surprising one, like the end of chapter 4, like the last world in chapter, like a world.
The Sony, I don't know what you would call those levels, like like a whole level was based around different gameplay where you got to play as like another Sony character,
right?
So, and the fourth one was definitely like the Japan studio just putting their foot down and saying, we want to do this one.
Yes.
Screw you.
Yes. So,
which I appreciate.
I didn't realize that those games had PS4 versions also.
They do.
And so the Japanese, like they're both on disc in Japan. And also there's Asian versions that they have the original, they have the English version on it, or the English text on it, but the Japanese versions do not. Unfortunately, the Asian ones are kind of expensive.
Oh, huh.
But the games themselves are only $15, and I feel like I'm okay. Like I might just eventually get them as digital. I mean, as time goes on, when there's certain things, I just like I can't. I feel as though I'm becoming more and more like okay with like digital things sometimes. If I want something and the digital is expensive or the physical is expensive and annoying to get a hold of, then I'm just gonna and then I will maybe get the physical if I find it. someplace or get a good deal on it.
I'm just, I mean, I'm okay with it here and there as well, but I'm trying to avoid feeling like I've like gone all in on any one platform holder's digital library, like until I have to, when physical is gone. But there was a notification that Scott Snyder has been a member for 49 months. I'm not sure if anyone's topping that.
I'm like, oh, yeah.
I feel like Scott's been the longest running for a while. Saying it was cool seeing Coury on the GameSack video today. That Gamera 2000 game looks like a lot of fun. Bad it never got a North American release. Yeah, that's always one of the what games.
Yeah, I mean that's what I say.
I thought it looked just really cool, like seeing him just like flying there with you.
Yeah, I laughed about the what is it? We have to get Gauss's DNA. Like, who is Gauss? I don't know who Gauss is.
Yeah, and they just like kept talking about it.
Well, I think it was edited that way to like just take because they probably bring it up many times. Like, get back Gauss's DNA. We've located Gauss's DNA.
Those scenes were great. I had no idea they were in it.
Yeah.
You and Joe should. I briefly looked at the comments on the video. I saw someone did point out that like Gamera is kind of its own.
Oh yeah, I feel
outside
like
outside of the Godzilla continuity, but
no, I don't think that anybody. Joe is not serious. I think Joe knows that, and he was just saying it. Like I think that him saying, "I was sad there's no Godzilla," like because he knew that there wasn't going to be a Godzilla in it.
Right. Okay.
He knows that they're separate. I mean,
Joe,
I think
Joe does like to drop some things in there just for the sake of getting people to be actually.
Yes.
But anyway, if you haven't, I might have watched like an older Gamera. Yeah, I did watch some of the early Gamera movies, but a few years ago I watched like the 90s Gamera trilogy, which is like kind of generally considered really good. And I thought it was pretty good. And the composer in it, I didn't realize this until the third one, and then it just like hit me. I'm like, oh my gosh, there is no way the composer for this game is not the composer for Shadow of the Colossus. I looked it up, and sure enough, like that's probably why he got the job for Shadow of the Colossus. Because they're like, yes, this is the sound we want for this game. Oh, Space Robot Arm is back with a $2 super chat saying, I laughed so hard at this game in the video today. Yeah. I laughed so hard at the load screen and Dungeon Explorer for Sega CD.
So like, for the record, I mean, it's funny because, like I didn't know what it was saying. I knew that it wasn't saying what I thought it was saying.
What it sounds like it's saying.
Yeah, but it says welcome back. But I mean, once you hear what I think it says, you're never going to be able to unhear it.
Yeah, well, yeah, like because you presented it in that context telling me this is what it says, like I could not figure out what else it could possibly be.
Yeah.
Powder Keg says this looks like you're playing Starfield. Whoa, what are these jumps?
I don't know. I'm just running down the hill.
Are you on another planet?
No, I think that I've evolved a little bit. Like I can use spears and stuff now. I loaded my game. I don't know if you saw that. Like I loaded.
Yeah. Your old game. So as you like continue progress, like your caveman dies, like do later generations like start off more powerful or something?
Yes, I think that it has to do with how much like you eat.
Yeah. The more you eat, the healthier your offspring. We all know this.
Yeah. So, yeah, but the thing is, like, the game doesn't tell you any of this stuff. I mean, I just assume that is the case.
I mean, you're still just assuming that those flames are how much life your dude has left.
I mean, I assume
that seems it seems to track.
Yeah, because when it does run out, I think he just dies of old age.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I felt like doing the video was super fun. It was very fun.
It was crazy that it's like, I mean, it was definitely longer than your usual GameStop. GameStop. I apologize, Joe, for saying GameStop. GameSack. You're like usual, like aside from the here's all of the games for one console and one region reviewed. Aside from those videos, it was longer than most GameSack videos, but it didn't feel like it was.
Right. Well, we both. Oh, there's a mammoth. I can kill it.
Stay
away from me.
I really liked the old timey video cards.
Yes.
For the skin at the end, that really worked.
Oh, it got me.
People, Joe's impression of me really stuck with people. People still quote it when
I feel like
when they come up to us at conventions and stuff.
People are very tickled by it.
Whoa there, Coury.
People are very tickled by it, I think. Like it's not even close, I think, but at the same time it's like a caricature.
Yes. It doesn't sound anything like me, and yet at the same time I can understand where the impression is coming from.
Yeah. Okay, so that's how much the tower I have.
Okay. So did you kill the mammoth?
No, it killed me.
So
now,
would the mammoth be in the same place if you get back to that spot?
I mean, the thing is that there's just no map. So you just gotta, go up there until you find another one. I mean, I don't know if there's like more to it.
Try to do my try is hilarious. Well, Coury, are you ready to do some more life in gaming? Did you know that Cardiff looks better in RF than composite video?
I did give, I really laughed about that. You're looking for, he was looking for any signs of dithering.
Yeah. Because GameSack likes the Sega Genesis.
Yeah. And that was like off the cuff. I think I laughed the most about the outtakes. I laughed the most. Did you see, you saw the outtakes, right?
Yes.
So it was just, I thought that was really funny. Because we had to do that so many times. I just think it's very funny that there's several times where I hit him way harder than I meant to, and then it's the last time it's he reels through. I'm like, I didn't even hit you. I didn't make any contact.
How was the one shot where all the spittle was flying on Joe's face? How was that done?
Well, we tried to make it more subtle many times. I had a wet washcloth, and I was going like this, and then eventually we had done it several times. You can't even see it. So I was like, okay, last time, and I was just and it was neither of us was prepared for it to be that much, I think. So it was funny. It was very funny.
Oh man.
But yeah, so you had a video come out yesterday.
Yes, you had I am certain significantly better reception to your extracurricular video this week than I had to mine. So I did I mean, this was done like actually just before I went to Retro World. It was available to like Digital Foundry patrons, but then went public.
Apparently not is like you're not like.
Well, as far as no one brought it up the issue to my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did look at the comments on the Patreon video, and no one ever like pinged me in like the DF Discord or anything. But you know, so anyway, it's a video on the graphics update for Final Fantasy 14 that went up the very end of June, I guess. Yeah, it was like end of June, beginning of July when 7.0 launched. And in all my 11 years on YouTube, I have never had a video so poorly received. Never. Like it's pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal. Ain't gonna lie, it put me in a funk all weekend. This stream is definitely helping. But yeah, so I know it's a good video. There's lots and lots of good and interesting comparisons all throughout it. You know, it's 45 minutes long. One of the videos I worked the hardest on in my life. Like this was a lot of work.
Really something that you worked on over a long time because you had to get all kinds of like comparison shots like before the update came out.
Correct. So really I had to get a bunch of like, I mean, that part was relatively easy. I mean, I did that part in like a day because it was relatively easy to just do the before shots because, you know, I didn't have to line anything up. You know, I captured a bunch of cutscenes. I captured a bunch of locations. But then what I had to do, which is one of the reasons it was so challenging, you know, some cutscenes have a set time of day. Most do not. And so I actually had to go through my footage and write down what time in the game world were each of these cutscenes recorded at, and where in the game world were, what time was it, and where was I standing. I had to make all kinds of reference material to get back in the same place at the same time of day. And like I had this schedule I had to like follow to like get these comparisons, you know, to make sure that the time of day was relatively similar enough, and hope that hope that the weather was the same, and sometimes it wasn't. I'd have to, you know, wait another day.
Which is like, I mean, that's out of control. Like that's like it's crazy.
Yeah, it was. I put a lot of work into it because I put more work into it than the video could ever be financially worth to anyone by like 1,000%. like people who, well, anyway, before I continue, there was a notification that Paul Sutton has been a member for 43 months saying, did Try's video feature Tale of the Sun? No? Well, lesson learned, I hope. Yeah, it would have been better received if I did Tale of the Sun.
Paul, if you're still here,
if
you get a copy of this game in at your store, I've been trying to find one that's like, I don't know. It seems like either there's like, I mean, I guess I could get like a Japanese version. It barely has any text. But if you get one in your store, let me know because I would love to buy it.
But anyway, no, people were not complaining about continuity issues in my video. No, I think I did that part very well. And I had like a little graphic that came up just to explain. I mean, I would expect that, 95% of the audience Plus would understand this, but there's always, the console fanboys who will be like, ooh, I'm seeing shadows in the Xbox version that I don't see on PlayStation. And it's, I put up a little graphic that says, shadow and light has shifted due to time of day. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it, other than waiting another hour for the same time and hoping that the weather didn't change, if I wanted to get them matched up exactly. I tried to do it as much as I could, but some things I just couldn't. And I put up a little disclaimer graphic, light and shadow has shifted. No, that was not the problem. The problem all boils down to one thing. It has nothing to do with what I did. Everything, I stand by everything I did in the video. The one problem, and this just never crossed my radar that there were issues, was something that even I don't think I would have spotted just because I don't have so much frame of reference for this. It was DLSS on PC. People are up in arms, and to some extent, understandably so. There are ways that DLSS is behaving, although people are kind of inconsistent in how they're characterizing it. The main issue seems to be, and I think that this is possibly tied to just how old the game is. However, there are third-party fixes that I won't be bothering to test, but there are third-party fixes that supposedly fix it. I don't know if there are any caveats, but supposedly fix it. I don't like to say it works unless I can try it for myself. But anyway, the main problem is that apparently DLSS doesn't do anything in cutscenes. Oh, right. It does do something. It's DLSS without the camera jitter, which is basically how it gets information about nearby pixels when there is no motion, or where certain parts of the screen have no or little motion. So anyway, interestingly enough, it's a similar but different issue to how anti-aliasing is on consoles right now. On PS5 and Series X specifically, there's some weird anti-aliasing issues that I kind of feel like are probably a mistake. I don't feel like it's intentional, and I hope it's something that can be fixed. And I hope the DLSS stuff can be fixed as well. But because like there were comments on this being missed before the video had been out for long enough for people to have watched up to that point in the video. So people were jumping ahead in the video
and looking at
and just checking, like, because there was
its own
had
chapter.
chapters.
I noticed
it had chapters, and there was DLSS was noted in one of the chapters, and people jumped ahead and they're like, I can't believe this bad video.
Yeah.
And so all of this effort, of course, when people were leaving these comments, they imagine that the video takes, 1/100th of the effort that it actually takes. Everything I did is reduced to, I didn't catch this DLSS issue. Bad video. And that is has overwhelmingly dominated the conversation around it. So yeah, it's disappointing, and I mean,
and it probably wouldn't have been as big of a deal if he hadn't spent like so much time on it.
Well, I mean, the other thing that just kills me about it is that, I had a line in there originally, and I was just trying to trim down so much stuff for time, because it was, I knew the video was so overkill, but I couldn't not make it everything I wanted it to be. And what I originally had in there was like, because look, I knew the DLSS was like not, it's DLSS 2.0, it's not 3.0. And I recognized that it was seemed like a probably simplistic DLSS implementation, but look, I'm not a PC gamer.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to.
I have hardly had my hands on DLSS before.
There's just a whole bunch of stuff that we're not used to having to deal with.
And, here I'm thinking, okay, Final Fantasy 13, it's an older game. Yes, looking at the PC version is outside my wheelhouse, but I wanted to look at the PC version, which there was, no one said I had to, but I was just like, well, if I look at only the console versions and I say like, oh, here's this weird thing on PS5 and Series X, or this could be better on PS5 and Series X, people would say like, oh, well, this would be way better on PC. And for the most part, that's not true. PS5 and Series X are capable of looking 95% identical to PC. Like the only differences are how anti-aliasing behaves, minor difference in anisotropic filtering, which mostly doesn't even come into play because of how parallax occlusion maps are filtered. And of course, the degree of performance they can have. And also the ambient occlusion. The ambient occlusion is technically more advanced. It has one higher setting on PC, which I was happy. One thing I was happy to see was there were some people who agreed with me on the ambient occlusion thing. I actually preferred the second highest level of ambient occlusion. I was happy to see people agree with me on that. But I do think the highest ambient occlusion looks neat, but it tries to do too much, and as a result can have more obvious artifacts. But anyway, that was one bright spot in the comments. Seeing people say, "Oh yeah, I actually agree with this," or "Oh, I'm glad I wasn't the only person who thought this was kind of weird with the ambient occlusion or the anti-aliasing on the consoles and stuff like that." But anyway, like I did not have the frame of reference to really tackle DLSS, and I thought like I'm looking at it and I'm like, hey, this looks good. I'm running around. I tested it in several areas, and I'm like, this looks good. I recognize that it is probably not like totally up to par,
but it was fine enough for you.
But it was good enough for me,
yeah.
And in the context of the game as well. The game has never had good anti-aliasing before.
Yeah,
this is the best anti-aliasing. If I played the PC version, I would use it, and I stand by that. I would still use it. I still think it looks good. I just didn't catch the issue of it not working in cutscenes, or I believe also when targeting NPCs. Also, I wasn't using it really to upscale. And to be honest, because it's such a simplistic implementation, and I said that there's no DLSS quality, there's no DLSS performance. It does what it's going to do, and that's kind of it. Like I said that. But then I'm like, hey, like it's definitely the game's most comprehensive anti-aliasing option. But here's a few issues that I did spot with it. But it certainly gets the jaggies more than anything else,
Mm-hmm.
So, so I'm like, hey, this is fine. And something that I love to comment to kind of explain where I'm coming from on this stuff, and to apologize for overlooking this. And something I actually forgot until I was thinking about just a bit ago. After I beat Dawn Trail in like the week after Retro World. I was like maybe 60% through Dawn Trail while working on the video. And while I was playing through Dawn Trail, that was like, like working was what I was doing during the day. I was playing the game, but not really playing the game. And I was mostly using the PC version because I wanted to use native 4K. I wanted to have it, recorded at 60 frames per second at 4K. I wanted to use the highest settings except for that one ambient occlusion setting. I didn't use DLSS because I knew it was a little weird, and I thought it was not right to use it for comparisons because The originals were using FXAA, so the FXAA or TSCMAA were.
See, it's just like all this stuff. Like, I mean, I don't even understand. Like, I don't even. Know
you don't even understand what I'm talking about.
I don't know what it is. Like, and
like,
I mean, in some cases, it's interesting to learn about, but I mean, it's just going like to a level of. This, like, to knowing what is what that's happening in every game. Like, I just can't do it.
I have so much sympathy for Alex. I mean, he knows this stuff, but like he has to like keep all this stuff off the top of his head and remember and consider all of these angles and possibilities. When he has to go through this stuff, I mean, like it takes a specific, talent to deal with this PC stuff. And it's not for me, but I thought in this case, for a game that I knew very well, for a game that is using, other than DLSS, mostly using older graphics techniques, I thought I could handle it, and it wasn't really like, I was never going to do like, PC performance or anything like that. Like I was never going to do that. And that was one reason I wasn't looking at DLSS in terms of upscaling. And I think it probably would be more obvious, the issues if I was using it in that way. But what I was saying earlier, I was, mostly logged into the PC version during the day, working on the video. And then, I was working on this obscene hours, so I was not playing a lot of Dawn Trail every evening. I was just playing an hour or so here and there as I could,
just so you can get more footage, really, right?
Well, I mean, I wanted to play the game. I mean, I wanted to play it. I wanted to play through the story. Like working on it did not make me not want to play the game. Like that was what I wanted to play. But it's a totally different thing, It's a totally different thing working on it versus playing it. And so in the evening, I didn't want to play on my computer. Like I wanted to step away, right? So, I'm, going downstairs and I'm playing on my PS5 or Series X. I wanted to get experience playing the game on both to make sure there wasn't anything weird between the two.
I love it when this happens really, really quick. I just like it when he falls asleep and slowly slides down the mountain. Sorry.
But anyway, I was, because I was like actually playing through the story.
Yeah. On
the consoles, I was not like watching cutscenes in DLSS, right? And it just never would have occurred to me to like check like, are cutscenes going to behave differently than gameplay for DLSS? And since I was not using DLSS for general capture, I just didn't come across it. Now I did, and this is something that I kind of forgot about until I was thinking about earlier today. Like after I finished Dawn Trail the week after Retro World, I was like kind of like finishing up some side quests, and I did actually spend on my downstairs computer, which can't run the game at native 4K. I ran it upscaling 1440p with DLSS, and I played probably an hour with DLSS 1440p upscaling to 4K, or so I assume, since it's a little opaque about what DLSS is actually doing in the game. I wasn't playing like major story cutscenes, but I was doing like, side quests. I actually didn't see it, and probably, why? Because I was sitting on my couch. I didn't see that,
most PC gamers are playing.
Most PC gamers are playing up at the monitor, and I'm just not even set up to do
that's
that.
Probably not super as common as it was. I mean, I'd be interested to see how many PC exclusive gamers are only playing like sitting at a desk.
I suspect it's still pretty common. Largely because of the mouse and keyboard thing. and especially for an MMO, I suspect most people who are playing on PC are going to be like, "Oh, you gotta use a mouse and keyboard." And I'm controller all the way. Like, even as I'm recording the PC version, I'm using a controller because that's what I'm used to. That's what my macros are set up for. Because you can save your setup to the server and then download it to other versions of the game. So I didn't want to like have to change all my macros and all my configuration for all of these different versions. So I just kept playing with the controller. And controller, I mean, even Alex, I'm pretty sure, uses a controller for most of his recordings in video reviews, because mouse and keyboard looks, I would agree, very unpleasant in recorded footage. Because it's, just...
Right.
Whereas you can do smooth pans with a controller,
Yeah.
right? You can do much smoother motions with a controller, which just looks much more appealing in a video. You can't really get smooth pans with a mouse. So I'm pretty sure
it's just such a hard thing. It's like a hard thing. Like, yes, maybe it's. I wonder if if that the poor implementation of DLSS has just rendered the game unplayable for a certain amount of people.
I mean, there's one person that responded to the Digital Foundry tweet about it who here I'm going to bring it up.
I mean, I only say that because before the stream we were talking about how I've been playing Visions of Mana this weekend, and about how it's like a 6.57 game, and there's just something kind of comforting, and the jankiness, or the how kind of crude it is at times makes me kind of appreciate it more,
Right. Well, I mean, how I think of it is like a game that doesn't feel like it's overreaching its means, is very kind of makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Like, so many games I feel like are doing more than the developers have the time or ability or budget to do, and certain aspects end up being just not working because of it. And if a game just kind of comes together with lesser means, but it still works, something about that feels warm and fuzzy. I don't,
Yeah, it's just where you're accepting the game for what it is,
right?
And it doesn't need to be any better or be. Well, and it's just okay. It's just what, this is fun. I'm having a good time playing this, and I really am. I like the game. I really like it.
That's why I like console gaming so much, because yes, I am interested in the technical aspects of this stuff. I like for the technical aspects of the game to be well done, but I hate having the ability to control it.
Yeah.
Because if I can control it, then I spend so much time tweaking, so much more time thinking oh, is this behaving correctly? Could I change a setting and this could be better? Oh, do I need to, install this third-party hack to do this or that, and download this different version of DLAA and copy these files to these folders? And it's
I mean, that's exactly why I don't want to get too involved in PC gaming.
No, and but at the same time, yes, I want those things to be done to a competent level in the console versions. But in the console versions, aside from having a few settings, it kind of is what it is, and I can just accept it.
Yeah.
I can just accept it, get used to it, and play it.
Yeah. And unless you can make Retro Tank 4K profiles.
Well, right, but that I view that as different, because people say oh, but you're into all of this upscaling, video quality tweaking and stuff. But to me, that's different, because that is external to the game.
Yeah.
The game,
just
in terms of how the game is being processed and run, that that I want limited ability to control. Like, I want the developers to do a good job and just give me a well-balanced version of the game.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to things like image quality and upscaling and stuff like that externally, like, yes, I want to be able to set up my TV the way I want it. I want to be able to set up things with the RetroTink. That is an external thing, but in terms of thinking about, is the game functioning correctly? Can I change some settings in the game to make this better? I prefer to not have that get in the way. Mm-hmm. And also the things in terms of, TV and RetroTink settings and stuff like that. That's, yes, you can, the settings could be different from game to game, but they're more broadly similar. There's just a few parameters that you're tweaking, perhaps if you need to do something different for a different game or a different system or something like that. So to me, I view that as different, but at any rate, a whole lot of people see the video as nothing but bad. And look, I people hold on to hope that is often, it's true that developers change things based on
and I think
flaws
that's
point out in Digital Foundry videos, and they want it to be fixed. And I feel like me not covering it like kind of makes them feel like, well, Square's going to watch this Digital Foundry video and think there's no problem, and they're not going to fix it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that.
And I understand the frustration there. But, anytime you're criticizing something,
could you do like a follow-up video that just focuses on that?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I just don't think it would. There's it's a business. I don't think there's a financial justification for it. I wish it was otherwise, but I severely doubt it.
Yeah.
If Richard asked me to, I would, but I don't think it's going to be in the cards.
Yeah.
That's just my thought. I could be wrong, but I don't
like killing the monkeys.
I just don't think it can happen.
But I mean, just like in the scheme of things, like hearing about that and like getting really caught up in these like technical details and stuff like that. I mean, it was like on the flip side, I wrote a little bit about it earlier, like in the comment I left on the GameStack video, where it was like doing the video that I did for that. It made me kind of just like appreciate like just writing a script based on like a game and like just having it being about the game and the things that you thought about it. Didn't have to get too like into like technical stuff at all. It's just I felt like I was very out of practice.
It's just what you thought about it, and there's no wrong answers.
Yeah. And I could say it was made by somebody else, that it wasn't.
Right. But in general.
But it made me appreciate and feel like, oh man, I should like do stuff like that more often. And it made me, I guess, like appreciate what Joe does a lot more, because it can, as we both know, it can be very difficult for us specifically to get everything that we want to say about a game out in like 5 or less minutes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that he can do it so effortlessly, like made me realize, like, he makes it look easy, but it's like, it's for people like who are, just need to cover so many things, or not so many things, but or so many games in a video. Like, it made me like really appreciate the work that he does. And there's Matt Gurley in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
With $10. Thank you. Saying, I sent this game to Joe forever ago, and I've been pestering him to review it. I was pleasantly surprised that you did it. Well done. I'm like, yeah, it's funny because you know, he says, I'm going to have you do this. And he says in the video that, you know, that somebody sent it to him, but he ended up wanted me to do it instead. And here I am playing on the stream now, killing this.
I mean, Matt Gurley is like kind of like a celebrity cameo here, almost like Tsukino Maho says, "Oh, hey, this must be the person who knows who they are."
Yes. Yep. How funny that works out like that. Well, I'm sorry that like everything happened, especially after putting so much effort into it and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you know, I mean,
PC stuff. Like I can't even imagine like covering PC stuff, just because
like,
there's so much and so many like variations or just like so many little.
And see, I thought this was a PC version I could handle, and I'm just never going to touch it again. I'm just never going to touch PC again.
You're gonna like have PTSD for like like anything like covering anything PC related. Because there was somebody saying like, oh, you know, like you're having a PC, a console reviewer review a PC version. That's your first mistake.
Yeah, well,
and there's people saying like, well, he made mistakes in the Final Fantasy 13 video too when it came to the PC game.
Well, I'm always trying to frame it up as like, look, I'm never trying to pretend I'm a PC gamer when I'm talking about these things. And like I said earlier, like I had a line in there that kind of was trying to just wash my hands of it, like basically saying like, look, I am probably not seeing some things with DLSS that more seasoned PC gamers would notice. I get the sense that it's a bit of an outdated implementation. I didn't realize at the time that it was considered broken. But you know, I was basically just.
Can it be if it's like, you know, it's totally playable?
It's no worse than the anti-aliasing on PS5 and Series X right now.
But what about the
and DLSS didn't exist before? Like if you could play the game, if you were capable of playing Final Fantasy 14 before DLSS was implemented, you don't have to use DLSS. Like it is optional. Like I'm not saying it's not a problem. It should be fixed because it's like the de facto best anti-aliasing in gaming right now, and also people with like, you know, playing on a laptop or lower powered GPUs like really need to count on it for upscaling. I understand that, but you know, like there was this comment. I have it up in this tab. Someone said, was expecting you to talk about the poor implementation of DLSS. DLSS is broken as it stands. It's essentially disabled in cutscenes. There are no DLSS presets like quality and balance, which I pointed out. I did point that out, saying it's impossible to play without DLSS tweaks and 14 jitter fix. Impossible to play. Well, let me tell you what, dear person that responded to the Digital Foundry tweet. On consoles, you have like a half implemented version of what seems to be TSC MAA, where you get the
did you just say 15 jitter bits?
The temporal anti-aliasing.
Did you Mr. Doss is asking the hard question. Did you actually just say 15 jitter bits? Is that what it says? It has 15 jitter bits? I don't know. That was fun.
I don't think that's what I said. I probably said something jitter bits. I don't know. I don't know what I said. What I'm saying is that the jitter, there's no jitter in cutscenes or riding around or at any point in console anti-aliasing right now. And for some reason, TSC MAA, which I believe was being used on consoles in part, does not have any edge detection like FXAA does. So when you're standing still, it looks like there's no anti-aliasing. And so it's disappointing, yes. But again, I'm like playing back from the TV. It's not great, but it's like not significantly worse than it was. And in motion, I think it looks better. Some people would disagree. Some think it looks too blurry. I think it looks fine. But anyway, listen, it's not impossible to play. Like, don't get me wrong. Maybe up at a monitor, it's a different experience, you know. But
I feel like we need to make like an animated GIF or like have a video clip that every time if you feel like you get onto a rant, it just plays this over top of your voice. Like this is just. I mean, it's not that like it sounds like that person on Twitter who says it's impossible to play should play Tale of the Sun.
I mean, DLSS is completely broken. There's no anti-aliasing at all.
Yeah.
Impossible to play. I mean, this game is probably impossible to play for other reasons. But, you know, listen, I do hope it gets fixed. It's just, I'm just frustrated by the reduction of, you know, what was... I mean, you know, I was working on this like lightly through all of July and then like spent 3 weeks in August doing probably 5 weeks of work, you know?
Yeah.
And to have all that reduced to, I can't believe you didn't crucify how DLSS is implemented in this game is, you know, it sucks in a way that has never happened before. Like, you know, people can say like, oh gosh, I hate this guy. I hate how this guy looks. I hate how this guy talks. I mean, hey, listen, y'all, I wouldn't watch me either. I don't care. I don't care if people like me, but I am disappointed that I overlooked something that I will agree is a critical point, but I just did not have the frame of reference or the experience to catch it. And I'm sorry for it. I'm very sorry. But listen, I mean, this applies to comments that we'll get on our channel as well. You know, just general advice for people. You have no idea how much it sucks to be told you forgot this. You missed this. Or this is wrong.
Or
like, you know, you can
word wrong.
You did these things wrong. And look, it sucks a lot to hear that. And I understand. I'm not saying you shouldn't say those things. I needed to be informed of this DLSS thing. You know, I'm sorry I didn't know it in time to include it in the video. But you know, you should point out errors and problems in a video. Yes.
I'm gonna try
but just think about, do it carefully, because it really, really sucks to hear it. So just at least say like, hey, great video, or I really liked this thing that you did in the video. But by the way, here's the facts about this or that. Like just say something nice. Just say something nice along with what you're pointing out. Like it goes a long way. Like it goes a really long way. Like, you know, I don't know if this is like common or not. I suspect it's not, but like, I was a communications major in college, but you know, my emphasis was media arts, right? But I still had to take a lot of communications classes. And one of the required communications classes was interpersonal communications. And I feel like that class actually had like a surprisingly big impact on like my outlook on life.
Mm-hmm.
And like, just this is just such a simple thing. And it's, I don't know, maybe this is common knowledge, but it's not like something that I hear people say. But like, when you don't like something or want to make a critique about, you know, something, or you know, you need to talk to someone about something that you know, you didn't like what they did, you didn't like this or that, direct your criticism toward the behavior or the result and not the person. Say, you know, I don't like this, rather than I don't like people who do this, right? Mm-hmm. Makes a big difference. You know, and I'm always thinking about that when I'm responding to people in YouTube comments and things like that. Like I don't come back at them saying like, well, you're an idiot if you think this. I just, I try to keep a very level head about it and say, well, here was my thought process, or, here is actually how, I know I'm right about this, so here's it explained in a different way. Retro Digital, just go to Digital Foundry. Just go to Digital Foundry. It's the second newest video because there was another new video today. Thank goodness. But yeah, I mean, it matters how you frame up criticism is all I'm saying, and I know people are generally just excited, like, ooh, I know this thing that this YouTuber didn't know. And I want to like flex and say, I know this thing. But you can't do anything about a video you've already uploaded. Yeah. You just can't. YouTube has no mechanism to replace a video. And if you delete and re-upload a video, it's dead. And all of your time put into it, you can't compensate yourself for your time when you've lost that momentum. And it stinks a lot. And it feels just really bad.
Replace videos and stuff like that. Like it'd be fine at first, but
yeah,
so many people would get caught up, I think, in like making changes anytime, like, anytime like something new happened or something new, like recent changed, and it'd just be like an unending thing. Like you spend all your time like making changes to one video forever.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, like,
so
take it personally.
Please do point out knowledge and facts that have been overlooked or missed, but think about how you put it because it feels real bad.
Yeah.
It feels real bad. I don't like getting things wrong, and I never want to act like I know more than I do. I always want to be honest about what I know, and I regret severely that I cut out the line in the Digital Foundry video saying like, hey, this is not something I have a lot of experience in. I just cut it out because I was looking for things that weren't necessary that I could cut out. And I shouldn't have. At the time it seemed unnecessary because I thought DLSS was fine. I didn't say it was, I didn't think it was perfect or anything, but I thought it was pretty good. I thought in the context of the game, it was good. Not perfect, but good. So.
I feel like this is the perfect game for you talking about this. Just be happening in the background.
Ramble, yeah. I saw Frank Moore say, okay, Try, you have upset the PC hardcore. The next video should be a deep dive in the world of Neo Geo and forget a tiny detail. Success guaranteed. Well, if you want an idea of why like some of these technical videos take us so long to get around to them, because, we do get terrified of the expectations that people have,
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, what can we do? If people are disappointed, then they're disappointed. We just move on with our lives.
Do better next time, or never touch PC again.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if I didn't cover PC, then people would be like, oh, well, this looks bad on PlayStation, looks way better on PC, when it doesn't. So I thought I had to. But anyway, there was a 499 from Robert Hernandez saying, "Don't feel bad, Try. Toxic responses do not deserve your energy. Here's $5 for the hassle. Also, not everyone knows what DLSS does. I sure don't. I mean, DLSS is, upscaling and anti-aliasing that is considered kind of the best on PC right now. You can only use it with it in video games.
Well, I've never been over here before.
And no, the toxic responses don't deserve my energy, but the point that I missed
on the ground over here. I mean,
I do genuinely regret that I just did not know. I genuinely regret that I did not know. I stand by everything that I showed and did and said in the video. It was just an omission that, I understand why some people feel it was critical. But DLSS is what PSSR on the PS5 Pro is going to be, trying to get. And if anyone looked at John Linneman's Twitter, over the past few days, he dealt with the opposite thing of what I dealt with. I don't know how he had it. I don't know where it came from, but he had like a screenshot of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on PS5 Pro, and he's like, "Oh, the image quality is so much better." And then it just, turned this whole kerfuffle over, like, oh, this is why, video games are ruined today. People care all about these graphics. How are the graphics in Rebirth not good enough? And, people didn't understand. He's not talking about the quality of the graphics. He's talking about the image quality, which, it had its problems in Rebirth. I was able to get used to it. But it certainly could look better. In fact, when I record a brief clip just to show how...
What is that thing?
Final Fantasy
like an ostrich that's got like human legs on it.
Whoa. I'm not seeing it yet. You're still asleep. Oh, man, my stream keeps falling behind.
I gotta kill it.
My stream keeps falling behind.
I must kill it.
Oh, wow. That's horrifying. This game reminds me...
definitely like doing some drugs when they made this. I feel like...
I mean, they weren't, though, because, like, my understanding is that Japan has almost zero drug abuse problems.
Well, it doesn't have to be abuse. I wouldn't call it abuse. I'd call it, like, being productive in this case.
I mean, what the vibe of this game reminds me of... I'm trying to remember what the name of the developer is. It's a developer from Chile, I think. The one that does the Xenoclash and
I don't know who it's
Xenoclash and the Eternal Cylinder. Whatever that developer, like Xenoclash. This game has Xenoclash vibes. For sure.
I mean, does this, like, watching it kind of make you like want to maybe get it for yourself at some point?
Not really, but I appreciate knowing about it. Ace Team, that's right. Ace Team. Yeah, their games have a vibe. I need to restart the Eternal Cylinder. That was the Doc Dragon end of the year directorship for Backloggery last year. Didn't have time to finish it, but it was interesting.
I just want to say that I do really like Visions of Mana, though. It's just like something I just like popped it in just to like I was in the shower on Friday, and if anybody watches like our Twitch channel, I did a couple of streams on Thursday and Friday where I used a program to do my whole my gaming setup layout.
Yeah.
And I had like an hour before I was going to stream on Friday, and I'm like, I just want to play the intro to Visions of Mana, just because it sounded fun.
And by the way,
it's very similar to Trials.
You talked me into starting to work on my room tour video as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to release them not too many weeks apart.
Yeah, I mean that would be kind of cool. Like, so I mean I'm like way into it right now. I don't know. Like, we'll see where I'm at by the end of the week. But doing the the diagram of everything was the thing that I was like most dreading. And it took like a good like between the 2 days, like 6 hours to make it.
Wow.
just to kind of figure it out.
So you did get. Did John join you at some point?
Yeah, he joined me for a
was
little bit
not
on the
able to
first
join
day, and then at like the back portion of it on the second day.
Cool.
It's more room tour, more like a layered tour. Yeah.
Well, for me, it's more like a house tour since, you know, my hobbies and work have completely taken over most of my house.
Yeah, everything, at least with me, everything is like stayed down here. This dude's gonna.
Hey, you know what I can do? This would not be very exciting, but we could do a live unboxing. I went to Micro Center today.
Oh.
Mostly because I wanted to get some screws that I thought I wouldn't be able to find at Lowe's. I wanted to find some screws to mount some additional case fans on the computer downstairs that I didn't really need, but like the case runs the fans so quietly, I was just like, well, there's no harm in just having a little extra airflow. Why not? Because it gave me this like side mount. And I'm like, sure, why not? I had extra fans from my editing computer build. The, you know, nice big fans that would be quiet, and I was like, sure, why not? So I was like, yeah, I'll just, you know, I'll go to Micro Center for some retail therapy. And I ended up buying an external Blu-ray writer.
Oh, cool.
Because PC cases don't got no dang bays anymore. Let's do a live unboxing of an external Blu-ray writer.
Oh, I've never seen this before either.
Why not?
So that's kind of cool. Who makes it? Is it?
Well, this one is Asus. The reason I got this one was because it's kind of big.
Yeah.
And like I don't like the little almost all of them are like these. Ooh, it's slim and won't take up much space. And I'm like, it looks so cheap, and the disc doesn't pop all the way out.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm like I want the big one.
Yeah, I agree with you. If I didn't keep my old PC hooked up, and I have a Blu-ray writer, disc writer in that. Oh, he died of old age.
Oh. So there's a little box here. Included in box, USB 3.0 cable, power adapter, and power cord.
Hey,
ooh,
you notice that my camera feed looks a lot better. I mean, it's still warmish in here, but I feel like the quality of it is looking a lot better.
Because of
I just I went through and properly
just did some tweaks.
Yeah, and I got some big white balancing, like a gray card and a white card to properly white balance everything.
But yeah, oh boy.
Look at
this is one of those weird. It's like the old printer cables. Like if you gotten any devices with they're I don't know if it's USB 3.1 or what, but it's not gonna be clear to get. Those old
it's
printer connections that have the square
right.
thing, and there's this new version where they're it's a square with another square-ish thing on top.
Is is that USB Type B? Is that B then, or no? I mean,
maybe I don't know. I don't keep track.
I always thought that was A, like that weird big side.
I think A is just the normal USB plug. Mr. Do says, "Try, you may be the first person to do a live unboxing of a Blu-ray writer while someone live streams Tale of the Sun." I know I am.
Yeah. Oh, see, no, she doesn't have any fire up there. I don't know what that means. She has no.
Oh, is she just
has no life, no life, health or something like that?
She's just immortal.
Maybe. I'll live forever.
Come on, you apes.
There's $10 from EB Chill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying you and Coury are the best in the business. If you weren't, you wouldn't be getting any comments at all. Got any survival horror games in mind for October? I'm playing that Silent Hill 2. That does the remake of Silent Hill 2 come out in October also?
I don't know when it's coming out. I think it's this year though.
So I was almost like, I'm playing Silent Hill 2, and I was like, I wonder how it would go if I played Silent Hill 2 for the first time and then played the remake like right after.
I mean,
I wonder what that would be like.
let me look.
I mean, it's got to be out in October. If it's not out in October, what are they doing? And I could fit that in like
October 8th.
October 8th. See, and I could do that. I mean, I could play, because I'm not really planning on playing the new Zelda right away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even particularly like excited about it. But like, I mean, depends on where I'm at. I mean, I think I'll finish Mana before, but like the only thing that's priority for me right now, like in terms of like new releases, is Ys 10 on October 25th. So I wonder if I could play Silent Hill. I could probably play the original Silent Hill 2 right before, and then if I am really feeling crazy, I could play the remake right afterwards, and I wonder how that would go. Like playing the original for the first time and then playing the remake right after. It'd be an interesting situation, I think.
There was a $4.99 from Nicholas Zander. Thank you. Saying Coury on GameStack, try on DF, Sunday night stream, great day of entertainment. Sorry you're getting grief try. Well, it's mostly past. So, you know. It's...
The only way it could have been better is if my room tour was out this week, like I was hoping for.
Jeremy Rovita had a $2 super chat saying no, play Kudelka instead.
Like, I mean, how long is that supposed to be though?
I don't think it's very long actually. I think it's like, I want to say it's like keep delaying taking the Blu-ray player out of the box.
The actual thing.
It's like 4 discs, but I want to say it's like, I don't know, 15 or 20 hours.
That sounds like Panzer Dragoon Saga, which is 4 discs and I think less than 20 hours.
Oh yeah, I mean, according to How Long to Beat here, it's like it's more like well under 20 hours, like 12 and a half to 16 hours. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Well, even like I don't know how long Visions of Mana is going to be, but I feel like it's going to be at the most like low 30s. And I'm doing like a lot of this stuff, and that sounds good to me. You know, it sounds. It was really nice getting the Platinum and Astrobot like with 16 hours.
What I'm gonna play is for Backloggery October streams is Fatal Frame 4.
Oh, cool.
I'm looking forward to that.
Ramesh saying
it has a subtitle. I can't remember what it's called.
Crimson Butterfly.
It's the port of the Wii one that was only in Japan before. So, you know, I would I'm still confused. Like it's part of like some other. I don't know if it's part of the PUBG universe or something else, but that the new gosh, I always get Super Giant and Super Massive confused. Super Massive is the Super Massive is the Until Dawn people, right? Dark Pictures.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking about playing the Coury. I still haven't played that.
Oh, the Coury's really good.
Oh, I've got to go. I'm just gonna fall all the way down. Here she goes.
But anyway, I think that is the new game. The casting of Frank Stone. It's like it's part of it's part of the same universe of one of those multiplayer games.
Called
But
Casting of Frank Stone.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, it's their style of, like, you know, cinematic horror game, and you know, as far as I can tell, there's no physical, and it's a full price $70 game.
Yeah,
and like I cannot buy a $70 digital game. I can't. Like, we usually play like the newest game from them on Halloween on the Backloggery stream, but
what does that look like?
I just cannot buy a $70 digital game. I'm just won't
I
do
did it with Alan Wake.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
I do not regret it. Like, and I'm buying the physical when it comes out. Oh, what's this? I found a tunnel. What's this?
Your first time finding a tunnel in the game?
Yeah, I didn't even know this was possible.
Whoa.
What's
It's
down
more advanced than Doom. You can have floors above floors. Anyway, I will take this Blu-ray player out of the box. Ooh, here we go. Unboxing a Blu-ray player. Very exciting. Some sort of manual. Some sort of software disc that I will definitely use. Oh, let's take a look at this. See, I wanted to get this big chunky one.
That's kind of...
That actually, like, pops actually has the tray go all the way out, rather than you just, like, push the button and it just, like, boop, it pops out like half an inch. I don't think this would be able to rip 4K discs. I don't think they sell anything like that in the store. I wasn't really. I mean, I was tempted to just get a DVD and CD one, because I didn't expect to really have a lot of use for Blu-ray in this context. But I mean, look at that big old chunky thing.
It's big and chunky. But it's, of course, it can't be flat on the top, can it be? It has to, like, go up to that diamond. You can't put anything on top. It can't nicely slot in someplace, because it's got to be. It's got to have.
I don't.
That's obnoxious.
Flat? Yeah, it's not flat in any dimension, so you can't, like, set stuff on it.
There's, like, a whole bunch of, like.
I don't know why, but, like, by this triangular LED, it says "Ice on Fire." What does it mean?
It says that on the LED?
Like printed on the glossy black, like, next to the LED, it just says "Ice on Fire."
My ice is on fire.
What if you, like, literally, as you explore this cave in the next minute, ran into ice on fire? This was like a predestined hint dropped by the developers. Like, they knew someone would be unboxing this external Blu-ray player while someone was playing Tale of the Sun. Wow.
I feel like I'm getting in here so far that I don't know if I'm going to be able to make my way out.
I mean, there's got to be something good. There's got to be something, like, game-changing in here.
I could see how it would be. Really...
Oh, you, like, exited from another
thing.
So yeah, I will
stuff
find
that made me flash blue
somewhere. Huh?
I feel like I ate some of the best food that I've eaten in the game before.
The best food you've ever eaten in the game. Oops. Sorry, that spooked you, Sandy.
No one out here now. Hey, let me ask the chat a question. I want a little feedback. Has anybody ever been to Legoland in Orlando, Florida?
I thought Legoland was in Sweden or Norway or something.
Well, my son wants to go for his 10th birthday. My daughter got to go to New York.
That's coming up in January?
Yeah. And you know, like we can't afford to like do something like Disney. But Legoland is close by there, and it's more affordable. During the Friday when I was streaming on Twitch, I set up my other camera and Nellie was like sleeping in here, and I just like had the like live cam on her, sleeping, but then she got up and left after a while.
Lego is Danish, therefore it is in Denmark. All right. Scandinavian countries. I apologize. They all blurred together in my mind. Sandy, your breath stinks. Do you know that? It stinks right now.
See, my jump is at max.
But
right now.
you real cute anyway.
That's why I can jump so high. So, the goal of the game is just to like kill enough mammoths so you can build a tower to the sun. And I don't realistically know how long that would actually take.
Rowan998 says, "Yeah, I've been in. It's a lot of fun for the family. My daughter is 6 and enjoyed it." Would it be fun for a 10-year-old as well?
And
I guess
a 12-year-old?
Is the question. Brent McLean has a $2 super chat saying, "If Tri still needs RoboCop, it is cheap on Woot." One of our Patreon supporters accidentally bought 2 copies. So I have already paid him for the extra copy, and he's going to send it to me. Have you ever used Woot before? I was surprised because he said that it shipped from Amazon. Huh?
I got a couple of like cables from Woot.
Like did it ship from Amazon or what?
Oh, what are these? They're leaves. Like fall leaves almost.
Just always finding new things.
Yeah, I've never found any of this stuff before. But I think they do ship from Amazon, yeah. But they're not tracked on there the same way. Like they arrive.
Amazon owns Woot. So okay. So if
but I don't think it shows up on your. You know, it's still a separate like tracking, but they use like Amazon delivery trucks.
And like you can use your Amazon account to buy stuff there.
I think you can log into it, yeah, but it does not show up. I don't think it shows up in your order history on Amazon.
Okay, well, I'll have to look into it next time I hear there's a deal because, I just kind of ignored it because I was like, oh, I've never ordered from Woot before. I don't want to have to deal with another account.
And honestly, like the name Woot is like really obnoxious.
It kind of is. I don't deny.
Eating these pine cones now.
Would you believe that Tale of the Sun has 5 entries on how long to beat?
Oh yeah?
Yeah. The shortest time is from Antelope, who beat the game in 3 hours and 54 minutes.
Dang.
Anonymous Fight Magic Sight
Look at these things.
Run and Hex Tree all beat the game in about 6.5 to 7 hours. And then Beautiful Burton beat the game in about 9 hours and 20 minutes.
All right. Well, I think my time on here is like right around 6 hours now.
Oh, there was a $5 super chat from Jonathan Henson. Good to see you as always. Saying, Coury, I listened to your Dreamcast episode on the Still Loading podcast. What are some games you guys think represent peak 2D pixel art?
Even though like I don't think it's like the most amazing game, although I haven't like never played it like super extensively. I feel like Astal is like has some really great pixel art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm trying to think like what would be really good on like GBA or DS. Because like I feel like those are like some of the later systems where it's like it's still like doing like a proper like sprites and stuff. Like it's not like a modern game engine just running sprites.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I should play that like next time I stream is I should play that Double Dragon Advance.
Oh yeah. I mean, looking at my DS shelf, I mean, I think all of the DS Castlevania games and like Castlevania Aria of Sorrow on GBA as well. All of the DS Castlevania games and Contra 4, like those are definitely sprite art highlights on DS.
I think they're like almost like too small though to be like the peak of it. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think that
they move smoothly for sure.
Like peak 2D pixel art. Like, I mean, like King of Fighters 12 and 13 is like
that like kind of stuff.
Pretty incredible.
Pretty insanely good.
I mean, I don't know.
It's also a lot of those like PS3 360 era Arc System Works games.
Yeah,
have like
or like even Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear is great, and I like those early ones were 2D. So now like I feel like they've combined it in a way that I think is super cool. Like the way they've like have these like 3D models, but they're like all like keyframed. So it looks 2D, but then they can like zoom, like move the camera around. I got to get one of those. What's the newest one that's out? Is there like a complete edition of it? Is it like Sign It's like XRGB? I feel like I should get one of those.
I really like how like the Persona 4 arena games look.
Yeah,
it's unusual to see sprite art done that way on an HD system, where it's not like made to look chunky. Like it is sprite art, no like anti-aliasing on it or anything. It's just raw pixel art, at 720p. Like it's not like it's not like it's kind of neat, I think. But that's just those are neat because it's so rare to see pixel art at that high of a resolution. It's not necessarily doesn't necessarily mean it's the best. I mean, what about like Yoshi's Island? Like Yoshi's Island. That's pretty peak sprite art.
Yeah. Hey, did you play the Ninja? What is it? Shadow of the Ninja.
Oh, Shadow of the Ninja Reborn. We got to the last level.
Okay.
It has been. It has been in my Switch has been in sleep mode all week.
Because like, isn't it like, oh, can you not continue? Or
Well,
so
there was conflicting information. It sounds like, and I just haven't. I
mean,
haven't done
that's
it
a great example of peak pixel art, I think.
Absolutely, it does look really good. Have you played it yet?
I mean, I've just played the first level. It's really tough.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and also, it seems that multiplayer is locked to hard mode.
They always do that,
or some variant of hard mode, because there was people in the chat who had already played it, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, there were two of a mid boss, and they're like, oh yeah, there was only one of them when I played on normal." So yeah, it locks you into it locks you into hard mode or some variant of hard mode. So yeah, it's been very challenging, but I mean, I trust Switch sleep mode. I've never really had a problem, so I just haven't played the Switch this week.
Yeah, as long as you don't take the game out of the console, then you should be fine.
Right. Well, I have very intentionally avoided the Switch this week, so I'm sure it's fine.
Do you think it's like...
But anyway, apparently if you quit the game through the pause menu, it doesn't save your progress.
Only if you die and get a game over.
But if you quit from the game over screen, it does.
Can they better catch that, right?
I don't know. So anyway, but I saw no need to quit, so. Stefan was asking, have we looked at the Art of Ease Origins? Is that like a book or something?
I mean, I have the Ease art book, but oh, this one I already have, I think. Ooh, there's another one over here. I was hoping I would like evolve at some point during this stream. I don't know what any of these things do. I just know there's one that like lets me like hold my breath underwater or something, or swim faster.
Oh, we got some suggestions from Guillermo Rovida. Thank you. Some suggestions of peak 2D pixel art, saying Pokemon Pearl, Waku Waku 7, and Purika Daisakusen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, the Purikura Daisakusen is like the it's like the isometric Saturn game.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about. Is it the one where you're on like rollerblades or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that one does look neat. What's Waku Waku 7?
Isn't that like a puzzle game?
I don't know. Oh, wow.
No, that's a fighting game. It's a fighting game. It's the one with the big...
It's got like a big cat thing?
The big cat thing, yes.
I'm looking at it, there's like...
with the long arms, the long floppy like arm. Like they're like almost like ears. They almost look like gigantic ears. Right?
Like kind of Klonoa-esque.
Yeah.
Well, it also has long ears, yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty neat. Pokemon Pearl, I kind of did. I mean, I got Diamond. I was like, it crossed my mind when I was looking at my DS games, and I'm like, what has really good pixel art? But like, the animation is like really simple, but that is a game I often think of when I think of 2D characters and other sprites integrated into a 3D world. Something about that look is very cozy to me. Mm-hmm. I think Pokemon Diamond and Pearl have a very cozy look. I think something about it is kind of a comfort food look. Like it's not like spectacular 2D or 3D, but
I can do like
something about it is cozy. I like 2D integrated into 3D, even when it results oftentimes in some slightly wonky sprite scaling. Something about it I still kind of just like anyway. There was wow, do you have infinite water?
No, I don't know
Or
where I
infinite
am right now. I'm gonna.
Have you ever really been underwater before?
Yeah, I have. Okay. I'm definitely gonna drown now.
Well, hold on a second. When did this woman get her flames at the top?
I don't know. They just like appeared at one point.
Like we were thinking she was like immortal.
There she see I drowned.
Oh. There was a notification that Master Safer has been a member for 16 months in a row.
Whoa.
Thank you. Saying, all right, Coury, I just load up Ys Origin. What am I in for? Only played 1 and 2 so far. Oh, you're in for a good time, I'd say.
Yeah, it's not too long to play through it. Like,
is Unica? Unica's kind of the recommended.
Yeah, definitely start with Unica. Who plays like Adol in like in 6 and
Felghana. Yeah.
And Hugo has like, it's more like shooter-esque, and then the Claw is the third character.
Isn't he unlockable?
Yes. Is more like Unica, but like way faster. So should I keep
Unica
on
is
playing,
Adol but with a big old axe.
What's that? Yeah,
Unica is Adol but with a big old axe.
Yeah. Should I keep on playing this, or should I like just like load up something random on the X station?
I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. But yeah, I mean, Ys Origin, I mean, it's, you know, I like how that generation of Ys plays for sure.
Okay. I'm gonna.
It's fast and snappy.
I think it's just my profile here.
That is kind of weird.
I'm just using my generic profile. I kind of want to play Gradius Gaiden. I don't know if everybody would be cool with that.
Sure.
If it's on here. Or Gun
Got no problem with that. Certainist is asking, have you guys seen High Castle Revisited yet?
Oh yeah, cool, yeah, it's great.
Secret new Castlevania. Yeah, I don't have it. I'm waiting for the physical copy, but
it's really, really good.
I hear I haven't really even looked at it, so I'm trying to not get spoiled on it, but I hear it's incredibly well done.
Yes.
I wonder what on earth is that up with.
It's just because I'm using the generic. I don't know if it's just like having a hard time like locking onto it or something.
Do you have like some
weird
setting?
Either way, I mean, I can do.
The old Konami bacon strips. I miss them.
I like this one. I also like to make my Gradius games set to easy, or very easy.
I mean, Gradius bumping up your lives. I mean, I don't know. Is that even really worth it, even on very easy?
I feel like this one has respawning right in the spot, but I might be wrong.
I see Voltar is playing the role of uncle tonight, walking in and saying, any winning going on tonight?
Depends on what you would consider winning.
I mean, anytime you play Tale of the Sun, you win.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I bought this week?
What'd you buy this week?
I
Said the Blu-ray writer.
Before I get to that, Jonathan Henson was just now saying, I understand right that some of the Castlevania DS collection was actually ported, not just 100% straight emulation. I haven't read a lot about it, but I did hear that because I was kind of confused when I heard that the map and the status screen could be displayed at the same time. And I'm like, wait, if they're emulating, how can they do that?
Right.
So I believe there is some something going on. It's not quite entirely emulation for sure.
Well, I heard that like they even have like tools like included like in like someone decompiled it, and it's like or like was able to pull the files off the download or whatever. And like there's even tool like they decompile the games, so it's like a kind of a partial or it's partially empty.
There was also a $2 super chat from Jeremy Rovita yet again saying, I see you guys playing PS1. Try Poppin' Tanks.
Poppin' Tanks. That sounds
You know
awesome.
Poppin' Tanks? I don't know Poppin' Tanks.
I will
keep it in mind.
Yeah.
When
it
Gradius
sounds like
run,
something that's probably
this
good.
very easy Gradius run inevitably goes south.
Yes.
I
just really like the music in Gradius Gaiden.
Anyway, I went with my parents middle of this week, a little day trip to the mountains, and we went in a antique store. I'll go downstairs and get what I bought. It's nothing that exciting, but I think it looks cool.
Harder to watch the chat playing this. And it would be. Whoa.
Wow. I bought this.
Oh, wow.
It's probably black and white. I'm sure it's black and white. I just thought it looked pretty.
Yeah.
You know? I like pretty CRTs.
Yeah. It looks like it's
my home decoration aesthetic is old electronics. So, I mean, it's in good aesthetic condition, and it was $25, which I feel like any CRT is kind of. I mean, it's not like I'm going to use it, but like, usually, like you'll see some cool looking old CRTs at antique stores, but they're usually a lot more than $25.
Yes.
So
especially now, yeah.
I don't know. Like I feel like I would spend $25 on almost any CRT. I just thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
I just thought it looked cool.
It looks like it's probably pretty light.
I could not
the way
resist.
you're just like manhandling it right now. You're just. It's
not heavy.
Yeah,
It's not
it looks
heavy.
like it might be not that heavy. Oh, we gotta get him. Man, my Sam does not have that. This good old Sony D-pad is like tearing up my thumb.
You know that Drum and I played this
Yeah.
ago.
Did you guys both play it? Oh yes. Yeah.
We did, but he ended up finishing it on his own.
Yeah.
I mean, it was on his backlog and not mine, so.
Right.
I mean, I would have gladly
It's good,
continued
right?
it. Yeah, it's good. I would have gladly continued it, but it gets pretty hard toward the end.
Yeah.
As long as you don't both die, though, you can immediately respawn. So.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's nice. I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed it. We got. I think we got to the last level. We got to the last level like maybe 3 times. 3 or 4 times. But yeah, just didn't make a lot of progress in it. Not in co-op anyway.
What?
Roland in the chat said, Try was almost spinning that TV like a basketball on his finger. If I had any, talent at all, that would be... That would be like the new MLiG intro.
Yeah,
that'd be like a scene in the new MLiG intro.
The new intro music is just the Harlem Globetrotters song, like the whistling. I don't know if that's actually their theme music or whatever. I just remember it from the commercials. One of those things that I remember seeing it on TV. That's good. So, I mean, I told you that I wanted to see that new Alien movie, right? I mentioned it.
Yeah, you talked about it last week. You said you really liked it.
Yeah, I really liked it, and it just kind of got me in the mood. I was watching. I watched the Ultra HD version of the first movie.
Yeah.
Which is it looks super good.
Yeah, good transfer.
Yeah. And then after that, I realized, I haven't really seen Prometheus since I saw it, in the theater when it came out.
Yeah.
So I rewatched that the other night, and then I had never seen Alien Covenant.
Yeah.
So then I watched that afterwards. The night after.
What did you think of your Prometheus rewatch and your Covenant first watch?
I feel like I liked Prometheus more than I did the first time I saw it. I just think it's interesting that it's an Alien prequel, but you would almost have no idea unless you only people that are familiar with with those movies would know. Because there's only there's a couple of references here and there, but it doesn't really, you don't actually see an alien until the after credits at the end.
Well, I think it's fine. I mean, I generally like Covenant more than Prometheus, I would say.
I feel like Covenant, the intro, the first hour of it is really, really good. It's just really intriguing, but then it just kind of, I don't know. It just is not. It kind of falls apart, I think. After that.
I mean that whole tangent of Alien, between those movies it's interesting, but at the same time, I feel no need for there to be someone behind.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I feel about the whole thing. I hate. So, I don't know, it really just goes all in on basically, all of them do. I don't look at the alien in these movies as the perfect organism. They are really, all the movies are, well, not aliens, I don't think, but at least, the first movie kind of offhand mentions it. It's it's the perfect organism. And, I never really feel that way about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, it has, the best defense system for itself, but it's also, it's not how is it a perfect organism if it like it can't really like what's it trying to achieve? You know, I don't know. Like it just I feel like they went. It's a good 7 out of 10 organism. It's what TN.
What kind of ranking is a human getting on this scale?
Yeah.
Is it above or below us?
That's the thing, like with Prometheus and everything, and also like less so Covenant. It's just like, you know, supposedly smart people just like repeatedly making stupid decisions.
Taking off the mask in the cave is just like what? No.
He just goes.
No.
And he's just like, you know, it's breathable. And if he had died right away, you know, it would have been fine. And the thing is,
well, it's not just that though. Like you don't,
the second
you don't
movie
know
where
what kind of like
inhale it. They can inhale the black goo. Like
say what?
The only like nothing would have bad would have happened if David didn't like feed it to him in his drink.
But like, I mean, still like there's no telling what kind of like viruses or bacteria that they couldn't see. Like, okay, the air is breathable, but like just no.
But I don't know, like I think like that in Prometheus, the C-section scene is like pure like body horror and like
oh yeah,
like, I think it's like really well done. Like it's just like really like creepy, I guess. And they try to like top it, and maybe they do in Romulus. They have something that's like almost similar.
I think Jeremy Rovita has the right idea here. Gremlins are the real perfect organisms.
To an extent, maybe. Play a game that has analog support after this.
Oh, is the D-pad just too much?
That's getting me.
PlayStation D-pads have never really bothered me. Some people can't stand them.
It depends. I mean, I think that my thumb is not as callous as it used to be.
I will say, when we played this, we played it on Mister, because John wanted to use his arcade stick, and I started off playing with the Super Nintendo controller, which is normally what I do. But I'll admit, something about the way this game encourages me to press hard on the D-pad. I'll admit that the Super Nintendo controller was not great, and I actually switched to the 3-button Genesis for it.
Oh,
I think the 3-button. Can you play with 3 buttons? Maybe it was the 6-button. I can't remember. I switched to one of the Genesis. Have you ever tried the custom mode in this game?
No.
Like,
you can make a custom like loadout.
Right.
Okay. So, I mean, you can do something similar after you finish Gradius 5.
Okay.
There's a you can build like a custom
and also the semi-auto leveling up.
Oh yeah, pretty good. It's like a good.
Yeah, well, what if you do the custom loadout? Like it took us several runs of experimentation with different ships and different loadouts and different loadout orders. But like we eventually figured out that like the semi-auto was actually really good if you plan out the order correctly.
10, 9, 8,
it made a big difference actually. I rather enjoyed that aspect.
What's the game that was suggested?
Poppin' Tanks.
Poppin' Tanks. Yeah, pop some of them.
Poppin' Tanks. I'm just like envisioning it being that like that game that inspired Worms. You know, there's old like flat colored Amiga or whatever games.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not what it is. But that's what I'm imagining. Did we see the new Retro Fighters pad for Dreamcast, the D6? I did not. Did you?
I did.
You know, it's
I don't know. Like, I don't really care that much. See, it's still doing that. I wonder what's going on with that.
it's weird. Like I don't love the Dreamcast controller, and the Retro Fighters controller that I have seems better. But I still use the Dreamcast controller. Oh, Poppin' Tanks. Apparently this is Enix.
Poppin' Tanks.
Poppin' Tanks has weird controls, but once you get used to it, it is really fun.
Oh, do I not have it on here?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What? Pusan. No Mina de Mori. No something.
Pusan.
Daikyosu. Pusan.
Let me see if I have it anywhere else. If I can locate it elsewhere in my...
Oh yeah, I was gonna look up the, what was it? Retro Fighters D6. See what this looks like. Oh. Huh. That's neat.
What? The controller?
Seems limitedly useful with no analog stick, though.
Yeah.
But I do like the shape of it. I mean, that's neat. It does look really cool. That does look cool. I find it to be appealing, but I'm just not sure what I would play with it. I mean, I guess like Resident Evil 2 and 3 would be good with that. Would be real good with that, actually.
All right. Give me 1 second.
Soul Calibur would probably be good. Although I've never really like had a full grasp on whether like Soul Calibur really needs an analog stick. If there's any advantage, I've never really figured that out. Yeah, that D6 does it's an appealing look, I will admit.
Yeah, I just wish that there was more stuff that I would play with it, I guess, at this point. It's just it's tough when a lot of the like big games that you would use a like a D-pad on with a Dreamcast, like they're playable elsewhere. Especially now that like say the like that Marvel vs. Capcom collection came out, and I guess it's really, really good. Stuff like that. I don't know why it's doing that. I feel like it didn't used to do that.
So I've never seen that. What connection are you using?
I'm using RGB. So.
Huh. But then it like stabilizes before the 480i is
Yeah.
done. No idea what that's about. It's never happened to me. I love that the thumbnail for the GameSack video is from the ending skit.
Yeah.
This one, but I've never played it. I can't believe that's a 43-minute video. It did not feel like it.
I don't know what's making it do that.
I wonder what would happen if you actually booted up a 480i game. Like it's maybe like some of the 480i, some of the deinterlacing is like not compatible with an older profile that you're using or something.
I don't know. I don't know. I'll ask about it.
Zindio Systems. Fun little intro.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the 3D pans around the tank. Except actually doing proper 2D art. It doesn't look like they're cheating at all. Looks really good. This game is definitely very expensive, right?
I bet it is. Yes, it looks like
an intro that looks this anime is totally a very expensive American.
Well, look it up. Look it up.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'm gonna say it's $200.
Yeah. I'm going to say closer to 300 than... I'm going to say it's in the 200s, but closer to 300 than not.
Okay.
Oh, wait. This is the Japanese version.
It's Japanese only.
Oh, it's Japanese only. Okay. Well, it's actually not that bad. Right away, some listings about $65 come up.
Okay.
One under 60. Let me look at the sold listings. Sold items.
Ooh, should we go to tank world or story mode? Or quick battle or custom battle or what? Tank world.
Oh wait, that's pop and pop. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a $65 game. I thought there was an American version. If there was an American version, this would be like $280. Without a doubt.
Yeah. Quick battle? I'll do quick battle.
$70 on Suragaya. People have been telling me a lot about Suragaya as an import, like buying from them online.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they've been saying it's really actually a really good store to use for imports. The Suragaya that we went to in Akihabara. It was like the only store that I was never really able to. I think it's like the only game store that I never bought anything at.
Oh yeah.
The only other store that I'd never bought anything at, I think, was the Hard Off in Akihabara.
Mm-hmm.
It's neat to look at, but I didn't buy anything there. But Suragaya was like the only like game store that I didn't buy.
Fighting the Malgo pork.
Well, at least retro game store. And I didn't buy anything at like Bic Camera or Yodobashi Camera or anything like that. Yeah, I didn't buy into Sir Gaia because it was just the shelves were laid out so tight, it was pretty typical. I did the usual, and there were just like people in the aisles, and I couldn't, like, with my big, like, my backpack was really big. And I just, like, I basically could not browse.
So, I mean, it controls. It has tank controls.
Well, that's about
Obviously.
That sounds right.
Yeah. It almost feels like slightly virtual on inspired.
It looks like it's got very, very fun, cartoonish sort of motion to it. I assume this is designed for 2-player. I wonder, you know, how compromised it is with split screen.
Yeah.
This looks like the kind of thing that would be really fun if you could do some sort of like system link with a separate TV.
The X button.
It's got a fun art style for sure. I enjoy it.
Not very good at it. Oh, do I
Apparently
have
the voices are going. Are both of our voices going in and out? That wouldn't make much sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It shouldn't be doing anything like that. I don't know what's going on with my audio tonight. Try this one. Phasing or noise canceling? I don't know. Maybe I can turn down the noise suppression.
Like noise suppression where?
In the NVIDIA noise removal. Now I just turn it down a little bit, see if that helps it.
That sounds like something I wouldn't trust at all.
It's just it's a filter that I enabled in
OBS.
Yeah, I mean, NVIDIA's like you have to have like NVIDIA Studio or Broadcast installed.
I mean, I think like that RTX like noise reduction is considered pretty flaky.
Really? Because I feel like it's considered to be really good.
Well, like I know that. I mean, ask John about it.
He was the one that he was like championing it for.
Well, when it first was a thing, he's like, "Oh, this is really good," and then they had like some recordings where they just like lost everything because it was like screwing up.
Really?
Unless it was something else, it was definitely some NVIDIA thing like RTX voice or something. Yeah, like early on he was like, "Oh, this is great," and then not long after that they had a lot of problems with it. Like it when it works, it's good.
I would
but
never
when it
use that as
work,
a recording
it's
for like my main audio. But on stream, I think it's fine.
You totally misspelled MLiG.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Whoops.
It's kind of a Mega Man Legends-esque style. I mean, Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 are like kind of peak PS1 like 3D graphics. They've aged so well. I love the different angles of like how the mouths look at different camera angles. It gives them depth.
Whoops. Sorry. We're good.
was $2 super chat from Matthew saying, finally Coury got Britney's dance beat back.
Yep. Well, we'll find out what happens next.
I mean, did you bring that to Joe's house? Because I mean, it has the. I mean, you brought that as a prop, right?
Yeah, I just brought the case. Yeah,
right.
Because I have the case that has like the half price books, $1.99.
Yeah, I mean, the half price books is like the best thing about it.
Yeah, $1.99.
Yep.
So there's somebody in our Discord. I don't know if you saw that. Like someone in our Discord like worked on that game.
I did see that. Yeah.
I feel like I should.
Man,
I don't know.
If only there was a way to just like play different music in that game, we could stream
it. But then it wouldn't be what it is. I don't know. I think it's pretty good. I like it as like kind of like this a time capsule also.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as far as like rhythm games go, it's like it's pretty decent, I think.
Oh, are there ocean tank battles?
I will find out.
Wait, did Joe canonically kill me? I don't think I'm canonically dead.
I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking would be a fun game sack idea.
What's that?
You know, Joe's like all into the mega power and stuff like that. Like, you know, like what is like the game that takes the most advantage of each level of mega power? Like maybe not just Genesis, like maybe extend it to like Super Nintendo as well. Like what is like the most impressive game of each ROM size? I actually don't know how many ROM sizes that would be. It might be a lot.
Yeah.
Jimmy Schindler says, "No, Try is alive. I saw him at the end of the video."
That's what I think is like really funny about it. Is that just like how it just like plays us both off as like being like completely stupid. like so stupid that we're just like easily fooled.
I mean,
to that
especially
extent.
You.
Yes.
It's like all Joe has to do to look like me is just put on glasses.
Yes. Oh, okay. So there's. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I can like strafe and stuff if I need to. Easier.
How long did the ending skit take to shoot?
It probably took longer than I'd like to admit. It was cool though. Like, I mean, my kids were watching like off camera.
Oh gosh, I would have thought you would have been way too nervous.
No, I mean they weren't watching like the whole time, but they were watching like for a bunch of it.
Mm-hmm.
But like they were having a hard time like being like staying quiet.
Like, by the time you finally saw Joe's game room, like was it what you expected, or was it?
I mean, it's smaller.
Or is it just you've seen it in videos so many times that it's just like, oh, that's about what I thought.
Tell you, like that room that he uses as a background, like with his big Afterburner poster and everything, it's like not that deep. Where we like filmed that skit, it's like it's not that deep.
Well, I thought, I mean, that that background is a green screen, right?
It is, yes. But I'm saying, like, just when we filmed in that room, though, to do the ending skit.
Oh, right.
And it's like, it's not that deep. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's smaller than it looks on camera. Is anybody? I want Kaylee Gamer to give me a game to play. Rise to Resurrection.
Putting random people on the spot here. Why not Rise to Resurrection?
Because I just think it's really funny they call it Rise to.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like the Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter EX2. Okay, that's a 480i game, so that should, I think.
That'll tell us whether you're having some sort of weird issue.
Where's it?
Well, after you play this a minute, I want you to play Rise 2.
Rise to Resurrection. Okay.
I gotta know what it is.
It's Rise of the Robots 2.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a Rise of the Robots 2.
Oh yeah.
Capcom.
This looks fine now.
I don't know whether that makes me want
No,
to see you play it
it's
or not.
240p.
Oh, this is 240p?
Oh yeah, it looks like it's not though, doesn't it?
Are you using some kind of profile that's like decimating or pre-scaling or getting rid of turning 480i into
I just assumed
240p?
that all like these were all maybe it'll be, is this? I mean, that looks like real high res though. But like then you look at the text, it does not look like.
Or are you looking at your CRT?
No, I don't have that on. I can turn it on. That might help.
Round 1. Fight.
I guess it's not. I just assumed that this would be because
Whoa.
because like Tekken is Tekken 3, like the Tekken games are.
I gotta be honest with you. I had zero idea there was a 3D Street Fighter in this era.
Oh yeah, there's two of them.
I had no idea. Are they considered good?
I don't think that they're considered bad.
I had no idea. I mean, you know, Street Fighter is not my thing, but this somehow never crossed my radar. Wow. It was a $5 super chat from Guy Safari. Thank you. Saying PS1 really is the console that even the fans don't know what's on it. If you've got 70s robot anime Geppy X, that'd be cool to see. Thanks for the vids. Ooh.
Geppy X.
Is it just called Geppy X or is it called 70s robot anime Geppy X? I mean, that's kind of what the Bokan games,
right.
like they're, you know, like based on 70s anime. It's definitely gives it an interesting vibe. Yeah, you should try that next.
I gotta be Skullomania. Actually, I don't have to be Skullomania.
You gotta be Who the heck is
Oh, it's
Skull?
Area. Oh, should I be Jack? I thought her name was Mayonnaise, but it's Nanaise.
Who are these random people? Have they not
Doctor in
have
Dark.
they not
Look at.
been in later Street Fighter games?
I don't think so.
Who the heck are they? Who the heck are
I
they?
thought her name was Mayonnaise, but it's Nanaise. Like, I mean, look at
Darun Mister.
look at that mustache.
Round 1. Fight.
Did you see the comment that that said like I see Joe has replaced Dave with a high quality FPGA version.
I didn't see that one. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like this plays real good.
I had absolutely no idea. I had no idea there was a 3D Street Fighter before, like, what? Like, 4? Was 4 3D? 4 was 3D.
Oh,
right?
so even, I guess, he didn't have a... You get a PS2 at launch? I don't remember if you...
I got it in the first year.
I mean, Street Fighter EX3 was a launch game.
I mean, I wasn't paying attention to fight. Like Tekken Tag was the big deal launch game. Like
Yes.
Tekken Tag and like Dead or Alive 2 were like the fine games people were talking about at that time. I definitely played Tekken Tag because my friends had it, but they didn't.
Look at this. It goes like into, like there was like, I Dragon punched him in the space and there was meteors like hitting him. How do we like top the sun explosion? How about we Dragon punch him in the space and meteors hit him? There's Skullomania.
I mean, you gotta build your tower up to the tails of the sun.
I mean, I feel like they should really put Skullomania in Street Fighter 6. I think that would be a big hit if they did something like that. I mean, because he's like in all the what's up the Arika Street Fighter games. Who are the ones that made this? Let's see, Statue of Liberty back there.
You've still got some 2D elements for the backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shocked I had no idea this was a thing. I mean, there's so many Street Fighters to keep track of.
Yeah.
Like, do you generally know, like, what's what? Like, I mean, like...
I think so,
this huge list of Street Fighter games for any given platform, like the PS1, do you know what's what?
Yes, I do.
Like, that's amazing to me. It's just amazing to me. Like, I couldn't even begin to care enough to know. Like,
I don't, and it's not even like I've never played this one. I played the first EX plus Alpha, but I've never actually played this one until now.
Are EX ones all 3D graphics?
Yeah.
No idea. Had no idea.
I don't know if EX 2 and 3 or even came out in the arcade.
Bonus game.
I'm sure that I could be enlightened on that. Were there arcade versions of this one and 3?
There was a $5 super chat from Matthew again. Thank you. Saying all we need now is back compatibility for new Nintendo console, clean water for all Earth, and new Onimusha plus House of the Dead games. Then a brave fencer could finally rest. All is well.
Man, I gotta get on that on my my list of games I need to beat or play this year.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
you know what? I'm looking at it like these are games that I'm going to play this year. I never say I had to beat them. Did I? I mean, when you think about it, there's going to be a bunch of games in my.
When I say I'm going to play a game, my intent is I'm going to beat it.
Yes, and the thing is like mine is 2, but now I'm thinking like, you know, if I don't feel compelled to beat it, then then that's okay.
Man, Ben Brody with a tough $2 super chat here, saying, "Try, what is your favorite flavor of Pringles?" I mean, this is hard because while I like Pringles, I just never buy them. So I'm not like super knowledgeable about all the different. I mean, like it's so boring, but like I can visualize in my head what ranch and barbecue Pringles are like, but beyond that, I'm like, I don't even know.
I mean, like or sour cream and onion. Like the
do
green
they
one.
have yeah, sour cream and onion's good. Do they have all dressed Pringles in Canada?
What? All dressed?
All dressed. That's like it's a very specifically Canadian potato chip flavor. That's just like all the flavors or something. It's pretty good. They don't have all dressed Pringles? Darn.
You know where like the best chips? And I think that you can get them online, but they were like kind of local to me, like where I grew up. Like this company called Martin's. I believe like Martin's potato chips. Can you look that up for me real quick? Because it's just like something I hadn't even thought of in years and years and years. It's like Martin's potato chips, and if you can get them online, I might order some.
Martin Snacks from the farm. Where to buy? Looks like they are in.
It's like, is it the name Martin's like written in red? And it's like cursive.
No.
I'm about to buy some Martin's chips off of Whoop.
It's like no, it's kind of got like sort of just a serif font with like a banner across a red background.
Okay, so that's red.
I mean, I'm sure this is what you're talking about. I mean, can I drag this into OBS? Would this work? How do what the heck is an AVIF picture file?
Martin's kettle cooked chips. Yeah, T-Sol like knows what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean,
yeah, Martin's kettle cooked chips.
I mean, kettle cooked is very.
Hey,
common.
have you checked your PO box for beaver nuggets lately?
I have. I've not
no
found
beaver nuggets.
No beaver nuggets.
I wonder
It looks
I wonder
like
if you can buy the beaver nuggets online.
It looks like
I want to be area.
Martin's chips are sold in Pennsylvania, Western New York, Maryland, Delaware, parts of West Virginia, Eastern Virginia, and Eastern North Carolina.
But you can't buy them online.
You can buy Martin Snacks at Webstront Store or PA Chips.
Ooh. I'm gonna buy some.
You can also buy a big barrel of Martin's cheese balls.
Ooh.
Or Martin's party mix.
I mean, I've never had those. Martin.
I mean, you know, I like potato chips, but I've never been like a huge potato chip guy. Like what I like way more than just like normal potato chips is
cheese balls. Cheese balls are like crack me up because they're just like chemicals.
What I like are like, you know, homemade potato chips at restaurants.
Oh, what is it? Like what are they called? Not like for some reason I want to Saratoga chips. You know what they are?
I don't know, but like, you know, if you go to a restaurant, you know, they'll be like, you know, all burgers and sandwiches come with French fries or homemade potato chips.
Oh,
or house-made, they might call them.
You lose.
I like that kind of chip like way more than just like a bag of chips, like way more.
Can you see if you can buy some beaver nuggets online? I'm gonna be mayonnaise.
Bucky's. I'm gonna go. All right, we're gonna go bucky's.com. Is there an online store?
Round one. Fight.
Not seeing an online store on the Bucky's website. You can buy gift cards on it.
Oh.
Bucky's beaver nuggets. Well, they are on Amazon.
Oh. I bet you can get them on eBay.
I mean, this is kind of sketchy, honestly, because it says it's shipped from and sold by All In Groceries.
Yeah. So they're just buying them.
79% positive in the last 12 months.
Okay, so it sounds like. I bet you can get them on eBay though.
I mean, next time I go to your house, I will stop at Bucky's.
Okay. All right. Next time you're going anywhere close by, you should just
Well, of course. It's just, yeah.
See, Ben Brody's saying is, you know, $5 saying they are called Saratoga chips. The best can be found at Montgomery Inn, where you should throw your controller down violently and go get some right now. You know, the barley corns.
What is Saratoga chips? Is that just that's just homemade chips at a restaurant?
I think so.
I mean, I just see homemade chips.
Can,
so I see that this Nanase has like a stick, like Killick.
This game's version of Killick, yes.
So like, do the weird characters who are
like those are the ones
Street Fighter regulars? Do they have weapons? Do they all have weapons?
I don't know. Uh-oh.
Throw your controller down violently.
I have no health left. Well, I'm gonna buy some of those Martin's chips. I'm gonna send some to your PO box.
Well, hopefully they don't
if
ship
anybody
from
is
All
close
In
to,
Groceries.
If anyone's close to a Bucky's and can send Try some beaver nuggets to his PO box, send me a message privately and I will reimburse you.
You've been desperate for this.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I will be too after I taste them.
All right, what was the last game that somebody suggested I play?
Oh, what was it? It was something good, I think.
How about if I played Punky Skunk?
You know, I bought that a few months ago.
The U.S. version? Is it
I
expensive?
did.
'Cause I
It was
feel
like
it's-
$50.
Okay. It's got like that pink. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. If I turn it off, turn it back on.
Oh, what was it? Someone did have a good suggestion. Oh, Geppy X.
I'm not sure if I'm going to have that on here. Tri-Rush Geppy. Oh. If I don't have it, I'm going to play Raiden Project.
Ben Brody with another's
Dang.
saying, have you tried putting an egg on a burger yet?
Oh man, it's the best. You
Well,
know what's
I mean,
even good if you do that and you put a slice of pineapple on there.
I mean, the first time or two that I tried egg on a burger, I kind of felt like it. I just kind of felt like the flavor and texture of it was lost in everything else on the burger. I did though a few months ago. I think my favorite local burger joint. I think it was there.
Captain.
I did have an egg on a burger, and I'm like, okay, I can taste it. I can definitely taste the egg. I can feel the texture of it. It's not lost. So it was good. It was good. I might have had egg on a burger at this really good place that John and I went to in Frankfurt. Jammy's Burgers.
Jammy.
I you know, my experience thus far with egg on burger has been it is either A, lost in the flavors, or oh yeah, I can taste it and it is good, but I wouldn't rank it as highly as like avocado on a burger, or guacamole on a burger, or bacon on a burger, or fried onion strip things on a burger. Good, but it's not like transformative to me.
This game is just gorgeous, I think.
Is it an example of peak pixel art?
It's up there. It's up there. I love like the pieces that fly off, like the ships when you shoot them down.
$5 from Ben Birdie again. Could play Driver 1 and we could all illegally gamble on how many tries it will take Coury to pass the tutorial level. Emphasis on illegally gambling. I mean, you do know that Coury did that on Streamlabs before.
Yes, but it took a long time.
It took a long time. Do you think you have retained any of your ability?
No. Definitely.
You don't think it would take you any less time than it took that time?
No. Now I'm kind of wishing I had just put in driver survival mode instead of this. That's all right. But I love how when things crash, how they like leave the craters on the ground sometimes. Like if they crash into like a building, it takes out part of it. I don't know. I just think that this is like there's lots of little details to this that I think is really impressive for the time.
There was a $2 super chat from Ben Brody saying, I'll tip 100 more if he gets it in 3 or less. That sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Do you think that is like the most infamous tutorial in all of gaming? Like it's gotta be like there can't be like
up there, but I don't think a lot of people remember it probably.
Like what even like well it's weird because I mean I remember a friend of mine was super hyped for Driver and bought it day one. I remember I remember going to the store and getting it, and I have no memory of that tutorial. But he may have just gone straight into the free mode or whatever it's called, which you can do without doing the tutorial, right?
Yes. I mean, I've never
I have
actually
no
played
memory of
anything
him struggling.
beyond that tutorial. I've only done the survival mode. Survival mode is the game as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, we were excited for the the replay camera director stuff. That's what we were excited about.
Yeah, and the thing is I had a demo that had survival mode on it, plus it even had the replay editor on it.
Really? So
Yeah.
what more do you even need?
Nothing. And that's
They
like
gave
literally
you the whole
all
game
I played
for free.
And to an extent it was more glitchy, I think, than the released game. So that
So it
made
was
it even better. That is like one of those few instances. Look at all these cows. I'm gonna be like this. Oh, it doesn't kill them.
Oh. Whoa, all those trees are on fire though.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I like. I really like the ground destruction of this. Just like the pieces that fly off. I just think it's like a really. It is like it's up there when it comes to like sprite work. I think. The first time I played this, I had never played like an arcade version of this, I guess. And the first time I played it, I was immediately like, "Wow, this is like a really good looking game."
You know what I'm curious about?
Driver.
Yes. Oh, darn. I was going to check if Driver was compatible with the Negicon.
Oh.
mean, there's a lot
have
of-
Driver, though?
I was checking that as well. I don't. I have Driver San Francisco. That's the only one I have.
Yeah.
Which I hear is really good.
I might have 2 copies of it.
Really? 2 copies of Driver?
Yeah, because I feel like I was... One's the greatest hits that I got brand new, and that's the one I would keep. I would keep.
I only accept Black Label.
That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, you know,
Then you could make a whole stream out of doing the
you
tutorial.
want to put it on the pile. Man, you know what I feel
I don't
so...
think I don't think there's an existing pile currently here.
You know what I feel so stupid about?
What?
One of the games that I like, and it's like such a random game too. Like, and you know, I do hate that I'm at like the point where it's like, did I buy that game yet or not?
Yeah.
You know, I hate that I'm at that point. Like, you know, 98% of the time I know for sure off the top of my head, but sometimes I have to look up on my backlog. But something I saw in Connecticut, like, it just didn't even occur to me that I would need to check if I had it. Was Deep Fear for the Saturn.
Oh, okay.
And I was...
So you had it?
Last week I was finally getting around to like cleaning some of my stack of games, and I was all getting ready to put it on the shelf, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I already had Deep Fear of all things, and I forgot. I hate that I'm at that point.
Yeah. Well, I'll trade you Driver for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can put it on a pile for you.
Okay.
Do you have the PS2 version of Sly Cooper 1?
No, I don't have any of the PS2 versions, and
Okay, well then you can have a spare. You can have a copy of that as well.
Oh, how'd you end up with a spare of that?
That's the other game that I stupidly bought at some point this year, thinking I did not have it. I discovered this when I did that Sly Cooper stream. Because I like went and got it off the shelf, and then I realized it was in a stack of uncleaned games. I couldn't believe it. So stupid. So stupid. You have PS2 Jack 2, right?
Yes, I have all of them.
Is it Greatest Hits though?
I know that you said that there's like a glitch in it.
There's the Greatest Hits version is supposed to be better.
I'd have to look.
Because Mr. Do sent a copy of Jack 2.
Is it Greatest Hits?
It is Greatest Hits.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that mine is not.
Okay, well, I'll if yours is not, then I'll put that on the pile for you as well. I've had, I actually got it at that swap meet at Galloping Ghost years ago. It was like $10, sealed copy of Jack 2.
I remember that, but it was normal, right? It was Black Label.
No, it's Greatest Hits.
Okay.
So I don't need that copy.
Right.
So yeah, okay. I can put those on a pile for you.
Looks like there's another Ben Brody there.
Oh goodness.
Going crazy.
Goodness
I feel like we haven't seen
gracious.
Ben in a while, and he's like making up for it. He's just going nuts.
All right, guys. What game have you bought the most times? Mine is GTA 5, 360, PS3, Xbox One, PC, Series X, PS5. Remakes and remasters count. Ooh, this is a good question.
I would say for me, it's probably Skyrim. I bet you that's probably true for everybody. And I've
You've
never
never even
I've
played it.
never played it.
Have you even booted it?
Yes. But I have, so I let me see. I have it on 360. I have it on PS4. I have the PS4 VR version. I have it on Steam. Pretty sure that I have it on Xbox Series like digitally because they had a deal with like that and Fallout 4, like the special edition of it. And I've never played it.
I feel like it might be Resident
super
Evil
embarrassing.
1 for me, possibly.
Is what?
Resident Evil 1.
Oh. Even more so
I've
than 4? I feel like 4 would be shoo-in for a lot of people.
Well, I mean, let me think. This is just off the top of my head. Resident Evil 1, I've got, Remake. I've got the HD remaster of Remake on PS4. I've got Director's Cut on PS1. I've got Japanese Saturn version. I've got Japanese PS1 version, just regular non-Director's Cut. I have it on PSN. So that's 6 versions, I guess. Like, let me think about RE4. RE4, GameCube, Wii. A Japanese physical disc, does it have RE4 on it for PS3?
Yes. The Revival Selection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has Resident Evil 4 and Code Veronica on it.
Yes, it does. This right here. So that's 3 versions. I have it on PS2. I have it on the remake on PS5. Oh, I have the MetaQuest version. So we're at 6. I don't. Oh, wait. Do I have the PS? Yes, I have the. Oh, okay, we're up to 7. We're up to 7 of the PS4 version. the PS4 original version. I don't know if I think I've got the PS3 digital version as well, so that would be 8.
Dang.
Like for some, like
I get it. Like,
well, like, and also like especially since they're usually pretty cheap, like just different versions of Resident Evil games is actually kind of like something that I don't like pursue hard, but like if I see it for cheap and it's a version I don't have, I'm just like, sure, why not? I don't know, like I just something about different versions of Resident Evil games I think are fun to collect. Like I don't try to go for like a complete set or anything, but I think it's fun. You know, I've got like 2 on PS1, Japanese PS1, Dreamcast, N64, GameCube, that was my original version, and the remake on Xbox One. I want to get the remake for PS4 sometime, but it just kills me that there's no physical. Like, I mean, you're entitled to the upgrade, but it just kills me if there's no physical on disc for the current gen versions of 2 and 3.
yeah, but you know what? It'll probably. I think about that sometimes, and I think I've started to come around to like, just because there's not a physical of that now, like there might be like in the next generation if they're still doing disc drives.
Capcom has been weird because like they've been really inconsistent. Like, you know, they've been doing things like suddenly we're getting physical Phoenix Wright games in America again.
Yeah,
but
it's annoying that they never released like the originals, like in like the original trilogy,
the 1, 2, 3. But you know, that was after a period where like 5 and 6 were only available digitally on 3DS. You know, their original system. Like you could not buy physical English versions of those, which was really disappointing. But then they've been doing things like there's no physical of like Monster Hunter Rise for PlayStation and Xbox. There's no physical of the RE 2, 3, and 7. On current gen systems. That Kunitsugami game that just came out.
Yeah.
I played the demo. I thought it seemed pretty good. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of tower defense-y, but different. I liked it. I don't know. Might not be your thing. I liked it though. Like I would be interested if they had a physical copy, but
yeah.
Ben Broy also said Coury.
How can it not be Space Harrier?
Across 2 chats, super chats, say Coury, how is yours not Space Harrier? Coury must have bought Space Harrier at least 9 times.
No.
I mean, does it count? Does it count if you got rid of your cabinet? Does that count as one?
Yeah, I mean, I think that counts at some point, but still, like, I only had like the Master System. I mean, it's been included in other things. Like, I guess I have the PS2 collection. It's, you know, like there's the version that's on the Genesis Mini 2. What else? I mean, I don't have like a TurboGrafx version of it. If I saw it, I would probably buy it sometime now.
So what about Super Mario Brothers 1? Like that's got to be pretty big numbers too.
For you.
So I've got Super Mario Brothers NES cart, Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt NES cart, Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt World Track Meet NES cart, Japanese Famicom cart, Super Mario All-Stars, Super Mario All-Stars Plus World, Super Mario All-Stars for the Wii.
I don't think that remake should count though.
Ben Brody said they count.
Oh, okay. Well,
He said they count. I'm almost positive I have the Wii Virtual Console version, which entitled me to the Wii U Virtual Console version for free. So I guess that counts? Question mark. I'll say it counts. 9. Super Mario Brothers Deluxe on Game Boy.
yeah, and I have.
Color, of course. I'm going to say that, like, like the Nintendo Switch Online does not count. I'll say Wii U counts, but Nintendo Switch Online doesn't count.
We could probably make a whole video out of this, like games we bought too many times.
That's actually a great idea. You can look at the different versions.
Yeah.
That's actually a great idea.
I mean, we could probably do that, like relatively simply too.
Like
you talking
that,
about
let's
and like.
Let's do that for one of the sponsorship videos that we have to do.
Okay, I mean we can easily like.
Let's do it. Let's do it. That's a great idea.
We got to make sure to like
games we have bought too many times.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, I love that idea. I really love that idea. Also, does NES Classic Edition count? I would say it does.
I mean, probably if the Genesis Mini is going to count.
Yeah, so I would say that's 11. And does it count that I used to have the game with my original NES collection, and I don't have that copy anymore? Like, does that add, or is it just copies I have access to now?
I don't know. We got to make sure to give Bren Brody the special thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
another super chat before, like, so it went off the screen.
Oh, from Guillermo Rovita. Thank you. Saying, lol, I have Waku Waku 7 physical Japanese on Saturn and digital on Switch, PS3, and PS5. 4 times, dang. I like this idea. Games.
Yeah.
I like that. I think it's just because there's like all these different versions, right?
Yeah. And I guess putting it in perspective like that would be good too.
Like we should like kind of count some up and then figure out how many like what our minimum number is going to be for the game.
Yeah.
Like what? Like I don't know if we
do like games we have the
minimum.
most versions of, like we own the most versions of. I don't know. It has to be things that we can't just like have it like we have to have like paid money for it. I feel like.
I mean, I think though if you paid money that entitles you to an upgrade,
yes,
like
that counts for sure. So it would just be like different ways to how many different ways do I have to play these games if it's not stuff we've like bought. Is this the end? Did I beat it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there is a FDS version of Mario 1. I'm pretty positive there is. I don't think I have it.
Stop for a little refueling. Is this going to be loop 2 now? Ship landed. Oh, look at this. I think I beat it.
I have Mario 2. And on the other side is Mario 2 is not a two-sided game. So on the other side I have Pro Wrestling. I think that's Fire Pro Wrestling.
Oh, no, it's not. Fly into space for the final level.
Oh, there was $5 from Ben Brody again. I should note, buying a game multiple times doesn't mean it's better. Like Sonic 2 isn't better than Uncharted 2, but I bought Sonic 2 500 times. No, yeah, I mean it's just some games have been just so freely available or ported so many times, and that's interesting. And sometimes those ports are so cheap you just can't help
you
yourself.
feel compelled. I guess like I have the Sega Ages version. Like, I guess Space Harrier. Like I'm thinking about it now, and I definitely paid for it several times.
Apparently, I missed you beating the game.
I didn't beat the game. It's like the intro to the final level. I'm guessing.
Yeah, because I was gonna say this level didn't look familiar. Does Uncharted 4 count as another purchase of Crash Bandicoot? No. I would say games within games don't count unless, for some reason, the game within a game was the sole reason that you bought it. For example, and I still haven't. I mean, I booted it, but I haven't played it to unlock the game that I bought it for.
Oh yeah,
Homefront the Revolution.
Yeah,
I bought for that surprise Time Splitters 2 hidden inside it.
Yeah. Oh,
that, was discovered like years after the game was out.
Speaking of, I guess not so much of that specifically, but of digital re-releases of games. I mean, like that, like the Time Splitters games just came out on PSN as PS2 classics.
Right.
But did you see that Sky Gunner is coming out as a PS2 classic?
Oh yeah, someone commented on that.
That's pretty neat, right? Like that's kind of a.
Yeah.
I you know what? I will totally buy that. I will totally
I bought the Japanese version of Sky Gunner a while back.
Yeah, but I'll just buy that version because I'm also kind of curious, like how it's gonna, like how's the 240p mode gonna look on that? Because it has that 240p mode. So I wonder how that's gonna, like, how will that translate across? I think it's kind of an interest in the PS2 emulator.
Yeah, I mean, I've not seen that emulator in person for myself.
So I mean, I think it's pretty neat though. I think it's nice to see a game that is like very expensive to buy show up on there.
Yeah,
and be
absolutely.
Like $10, you know?
Especially one that's considered, a bit on the obscure side.
Yeah.
What does that old CRT smell like? Old CRT that people said I was spinning on my finger like a basketball. Oh, you just did a big old fart.
How many ways? No, listen, Bagashman, I believe me. I know how many there are. How many ways there are to play Sonic 1. Believe me. Like I was thinking about doing a video on it sometime, but I was like, it's almost scary.
Yeah, I mean, like again, games within games. I mean, that's in Sonic Generations, but I don't know if that would count for the subject we're talking about. Like, unless the only reason you bought Sonic Generations was for Sonic.
And if it was, then what are you doing? I bet you there's 8 levels on this. This is only 7.
What's the best component switcher and also best S-video switcher you can get for your CRTs? I mean, for CRTs, I wouldn't say you need to go like super ultra crazy. I mean, the best is G-Comp, but
yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how that multi-switch thing from Arthremus is gonna turn out. Like I if everything on there is good, I know that you can. I hope that he makes something that like lets you not just make a big long one, but like has like a curved, so they can curve back and forth. I would like to have it like a snake.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Where it's like,
I know what you mean.
yeah.
That would be great.
Because if it's just like one super long switch, then like that's it's unusable for me because it's not going to fit where I need it to fit.
About the switcher, what Jay said, got Pelican switcher for component nest video. Those are pretty good, honestly. Those mechanical switchers. You know, Pelican is a common brand, but if you see that or something else in a thrift store, I don't know if they've maybe gone up in price on
Yeah, because
eBay or
mechanical
something.
switchers are not going to screw it up. I don't think they're.
Yeah, I mean they're good as long as you use good cables on the input and output, especially on a CRT. You're not going to see any problems.
Right.
You know, they're not automatic switchers like a G-Comp. There's some good Extron switchers out there as well.
Yeah, I have no idea what the state
composite
of
and S-Video.
at this point, though.
Component, not so much unless you're going for like the full array RGB, which you can make work as component, but it gets a little. But there are decent ones for S-Video for Extron. There was $5 from Ben Brody. Thank you again, saying, "What's your favorite video game remaster / remake?" Mine might honestly sound dumb, but it's the Switch version of Phantasy Star 2 or maybe Super Mario Brothers All Stars. Man, favorite remake. I have to say it's Resident Evil 2, probably. I mean, I as a big time Resident Evil fan,
I mean, that's up there for sure.
Is a big Resident Evil fan. I rate RE2 probably a little lower than most like big RE fans.
Yeah,
I like it a lot, but like I feel like it's a very common pick for the favorite of the old style, and I just like the original and the remake of original a lot more than 2. But I think remake 2 I think is the best game in the whole dang series. Like I think it's that good.
I'd have to look at what I got. I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that what it would be my favorite.
I have a hard time thinking it could be anything other than RE2.
Soul Calibur on the Dreamcast. I mean, it's an interesting point. I mean, it basically is like a complete overhaul. I feel like that Skygunner video I did is like probably like 10 years ago now.
Yeah, it was probably relatively early. I mean, yeah, GameCube RE1 is also really good, but I think RE2 is just so good, so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wonder Boy Dragon's Trap is up there. Like that's
it's good.
That I mean, I would much rather play that over the original.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially since that original runs at 30 FPS.
Absolutely. I can't believe I still haven't played the Shadow of the Colossus.
I know. I was just about to say that I don't know, like. And this always happens to me, like the end of the year. Like I always play a bunch of games, like until summer, and then like during the summer, like I don't really play much, and then by fall, I'm like kind of ready to get back into stuff, and I feel as though there's so many games that I want to play that I just wish that I had all the time to play everything that I wanted to play.
Yeah,
because I hadn't thought about Shadow of the Colossus in a long time, and then working on that compilation video, I was like, oh, I kind of really want to play it like sooner rather than later, and maybe I'll put that on my list for next year.
Yeah, it's a good pick. Ben Brody said yet again, goodness, Goodness, man. Thank you. Saying Sky Gunner video was an ASMR Coury voice video. Was it really?
I mean, I don't know
Was
if
it that
like
old?
it wasn't that extreme in that one.
Was that was that one done at your rental house?
No, that was done at the
old
attic.
house?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were over your ASMR phase by
I
then.
feel like I was. I think that you.
I gotta go bring it up now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it was like really like projecting my voice.
Mm-hmm.
So, you look this up.
Sky Gunner, the best 3D shooter on the PlayStation 2. Bold claims.
The PlayStation 2 was an amazing system.
It is an amazing system.
System of all time.
That old PS2, pretty good.
I mean, it's not ASMR, but it's kind of
I haven't
kind
like
of a
learned
light
to
and
fully
airy
project
sort
my
of
voice.
I'm Coury sound.
I'm just like that PS2, pretty good.
My life in gaming.
I like that old PS2. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right. 11:30. I'm about ready to head to bed myself.
That's probably the right call.
Yeah. Thanks everybody who donated. Ben Brody going crazy.
Yeah, goodness gracious.
It's good to see you in the chat again. I feel like we haven't seen you in a little bit. But thanks everybody.
Yeah, I think the stream has cured me of my weekend long FF14 induced funk.
And that means you can work on the your setup tour.
Yes.
Like, well, it would be really cool if they like released like 2 weeks apart from each other.
We'll see what happens.
Sounds good.
I bought an extra HDMI switcher for downstairs because I needed another one anyway. So like this is
What do you mean when you say extra? Is it like a 16?
No. It's another 5 input that I'm going to daisy chain to another 5 input.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a physical power switch on it, so I'm going to put things that I don't need as often because I've already got some things routed through one of those audio extractors, like for things that it fixes audio for, like PS1 digital, GBA consoleizer, stuff like that.
Right.
And there's a power switch on that.
Yes.
And so I only turn it on when I need to use those things. And so I wanted something with a power switch that I could only turn on so that it doesn't screw up auto switch.
Right.
Because I don't use the 16 input downstairs anymore. Because it's got that weird stuff with
there's
surround sound and whatnot. So I have it upstairs now actually. And so but because I can only use inputs 1 through 4 for zone 2 output, I have to still have to consolidate some things. So anyway, what I'm saying is I haven't hooked it up yet. I'll probably do it tomorrow. But this is pushing me to tie up a few loose ends on my setup that I've been putting off like that. So that'd be good.
Yep. And I'll be cranking away. Maybe I'll do an editing stream at some point this week on the Twitch. We'll see about that.
Oh hey, our TVO turned up.
Yeah.
Good to see ya.
you missed the Tale of the Sun now.
Yeah.
I mean, I played it for a good 2 hours, but
you did. It was.
I found
there was something relaxing about just watching you bumble around in that one.
Yeah.
Like it was a chill time. I appreciate it.
Heck yeah. All right, everybody. Have a great week. And thanks again, everybody. And we will see you soon. Good night.
Good night.